This is Monty in the Morning, the show Phoenix Magazine readers voted #1 talk radio show in Arizona.
#1 during your morning commute.
#1 whenever news breaks during your day.
And #1 whenever and wherever you want to talk sports.
Now it's time for Monty in the Morning.
Hey, yo, man, how the heck are you? It is the Monty Show. Thank God it's Friday. This is one of those things. Wasn't this supposed to go away when we left the old Yelpatory? Wasn't it supposed to feel like Wednesday instead of Friday? And
apparently.
Yeah, somebody forgot to tell Life that. Big show for you today, as always. Really want to get into Donovan Mitchell and what the Jazz are doing, because the thing that's amazing to me is the sheer number of people saying that the Utah Jazz are missing the playoffs, and the local media saying that they're going to have the worst season they've had in a decade. And I'm not convinced that's the truth. We'll talk about that. You're going to see here in about 20 minutes, brand new tape on Donovan Mitchell, just reaffirming my greatness, reaffirming how sexy I am. Like, it's all that, man. That's what Donovan Mitchell is doing. What?
What are we even supposed to say to that?
You're supposed to say, damn, yeah, Monty, you are hot. What? What? I don't know what you mean. We'll get into all that. We got to talk DeShaun Watson. Today is D-Day for the Cleveland Browns and DeShaun Watson.
Was that a euphemism, or?
Today is D-Day for DeShaun Watson. Speaking of D-Day, it's also National Julienne French Fry Day. What am I even supposed to say to that? National Julienne no.
If you like julienne fries, you're a casual.
Get out. Anyway, we'll talk about the best French fries in fast food, because of course we do, right? But why don't we kick off the show?
See what he did there. Kick off, start the show, football,
telling you we are sending a listener +1 to Las Vegas to see BYU take on Notre Dame October 7th and 8th at Allegiant Stadium. It is the Shamrock Series. We're giving you 2 tickets to that game, 2 nights at the Palms Hotel, Resort, and Casino, and $250 gas card to get you there, because we want you to go and see BYU and Notre Dame. It is a amazing experience. Thank you, Lisa, for being here. And it is really easy to win. All you need to do is go to any of the Utah locations for Barbecue Pit Stop, bbqpitstop.com. You can shop online as well. But if you want to enter the contest, find Barbecue Pit Stop in Lehigh, Layton, Logan, Salt Lake City, and St. George. All of them have a box on the counter with our beautiful faces in it. All you have to do is fill out the slip, drop it in the box, and then join us Saturday, September 17th, as we watch BYU and the Oregon Ducks live at Autzen Stadium at the Barbecue Pit Stop in Lehigh. Come on out. Join us for that game. It is going to be spectacular. We are going to have a lot of fun in Lehigh at Barbecue Pit Stop Saturday, September 17th. We're going to have wings. We're going to have pizza on smokers. It's going to be awesome. And it is all brought to you by our good friend Devry Davis at Academy Mortgage, 801-543-9666, 801-543-9666, NMLS number 278545. Academy Mortgage and Devry Davis are equal housing lenders. Jake, speaking of kickoff.
Right.
Can BYU shock the world and be this year's example of, let's say, Cincinnati? There is a big, big push to find this year's playoff buster. And CBS Sports says there's a real good chance it's the BYU Cougars. Now, I think we're all going to figure out who BYU is probably in the first 3 weeks of the season. But having said that, I do believe that BYU has a chance, Jake, to be the playoff buster this year. Do you agree?
Yeah, I mean, I think the schedule is what defines that. I don't even think, honestly, I don't even think it's a matter of opinion. You look at their schedule and you see the 3 big games on their schedule, and these are all teams that, 2 of the 3 definitively, and I believe Baylor will be somebody who is in the college football playoff conversation probably till the end. I don't know that they make it, but they'll be right in there. They'll definitely be competing. And so when you look at BYU's schedule, the reason I say definitively, yes, they can be your college football chaos team, if you will. They can be your college football, bracket buster, if you will, as they call it in basketball. The reason they can be that, and the reason I think they will be that, is because of the way the schedule pans out. You're going to get Baylor week 2, September 17th at Lavelle. If you win that game, that changes the fate of Baylor's season, no doubt about it. If you beat Oregon September 17th, if we watch them beat Oregon at Barbecue Pit Stop, right, that's going to change the fate of Oregon's season and their ability to definitively get to the college football playoff this coming season. And then you fast forward to Notre Dame, which is why we're sending you to this game. Notre Dame, that game right there, that's a huge game. And the reason for that is because of where it is on the schedule. My opinion is that being that it is the middle of the season, this is a game of consequence for Notre Dame. Because I think, if you're BYU and you lose this game, okay, yeah, not great. But at the same time, nobody's counting you into the college football playoff scene right now. Nobody thinks that BYU can get to the college football playoff. But if you go and beat Baylor, Oregon, and Notre Dame, those 3 teams, not only did you, I'm not going to say wreck their season, but you totally changed the path of their season. You've now solidified yourself as a team that can beat the big boys. And I feel like BYU goes through this every single year. Every year, heading into the season, everyone says, oh, well, they can't beat Texas. They can't beat Florida. They can't beat the big boys. And then what do we get? We get upsets. We get Taysom jumping over people. We get, these crazy games that BYU seemingly puts out. So that's why I say that the schedule to me definitively says that they can be that chaos team. But I think another interesting angle on this is the Big 12 side of the conversation. I mean, think about it. If somehow, some way, BYU is a one-loss team this year, somehow, some way, I know the odds, and everyone says, no, that's not possible. Let's say it happens, that they're a one-loss team this year, heading into the Big 12 next year. How awesome would that be for Baylor last year to be in the college football playoff conversation, then to have BYU this year be in the college football playoff conversation, 2 staples in the Big 12 being in that conversation? That's exactly why BYU has everything to play for this year.
But can you say that BYU is a staple of the Big 12?
Well, not yet. But I'm saying if you beat Baylor and you have a 12, whatever this would be, 11-1 or whatever they would be. If you have a beefy season like that headed into the Big 12, I think.
Beefy?
Yeah, a legitimate season, a double-digit win season. If you have a legitimate season as you head into the Big 12, you have to be considered a staple of the Big 12. It's not an option.
Yeah, I think one of the interesting parts of this conversation is what you said. Every year we have this conversation about BYU. And what's interesting is this is the last year we're going to have this conversation about BYU because they're no longer an independent after this season. And I think that's a significant change. But I also think it's a significant motivator for a lot of kids on this roster in Provo because a lot of kids on this roster will never play a game of consequence in the Big 12. And I think there's a lot of focus on not letting this season drift away because that'd be very easy to do. I think as we've talked about for weeks now on this show, you have to make sure that you don't just overlook this season. Now, having said that, directly to your point, Jake, I think when you look at some of the games on this schedule, now, obviously you have the lookover games. I think South Florida is a game that you cannot overlook here. But I think when you look at Baylor, Notre Dame, Oregon, like that group of games, that's when we're going to find out who this team is. If I said to you, hey, will they lose before the bye week? What would you say to that?
Yeah, I think they'll definitely lose before their bye week, and that's just because their bye week is so late. That's the problem. Your bye week is what is it? I think the 11th of November or whatever it is. I mean, you're gonna be tired. You're gonna be beat up. You're like injuries this year will be more of an issue, I think, as we get into the middle of this schedule than they were in past years because your bye week is so late. But, I think another game of consequence outside of Baylor, Oregon, and Notre Dame is Arkansas. Arkansas doesn't get talked about a lot, but they're a good team. That's a team that you will battle. So, again, I just think if I'm BYU and I'm looking at this schedule, I think week 1 South Florida, that's a must win. That's a game I would expect you to win, frankly. And then I look at Baylor. You got a point to prove against Baylor. Let's be honest. Let's not forget what happened last year. You went to Baylor. They didn't respect Jaron at all in his running ability, and they were just playing easy defense. That's what they were doing, and I just think that BYU can beat these guys. Absolutely. Oregon, on the other hand, that's a game that I think is going to be awesome, because I think that's a true measuring stick game. Very much the same way Oregon against Ohio State early in the year last year was a measuring stick for Oregon. I think it's that same thing for BYU. So,
what do you mean when you say that's a measuring stick game? Are you talking about size, talent?
No,
depth?
I just think program versus program. I think that, hey, we're BYU. Can we go and play a Pac-12 powerhouse and win? Can we be competitive in that game? Because I'm telling you, that's what this season is about for BYU. Obviously you always want to try to get into the college football playoff. You want to win as many games as possible. But in the bigger picture, from a Big 12 standpoint, as BYU goes that way and heads that direction, this season is all about showing what you're capable of. What can we expect out of BYU in the first season in the Big 12? Well, if you come out and you beat Baylor, Oregon, if you can beat Notre Dame somehow, that's gonna be a great thing for your program.
Brody, I'm telling you right now, the game on their schedule that worries me by far the most is Baylor.
Mm-hmm.
I think, and I probably overvalue Baylor too much, but I think Baylor is going to be a handful. I mean, I don't care who you are. I don't care where the game's played. I think Baylor is going to be one of the best teams in the conference, obviously. But I think that BYU, now that game's in Provo, right? I mean, you look up and down the schedule and you try to find the most likely games that BYU is going to lose. I don't think there's any doubt that you have to look at that Baylor game and say, yeah, there's a good chance that Baylor's just a better football team. But I also think that Baylor's going to be in for a hell of a game. I think that BYU, it goes without saying, this BYU team is tenacious. This BYU team plays with an incredible amount of heart. You come to elevation at BYU in Provo, it is intimidating. Again, that game is an 8:15 Mountain Time kickoff. That's 9:15 in the Central Time Zone. I think that's got to be an advantage for BYU. That game is on ESPN. It's a national TV game. It's a huge game. I think BYU has to win that game. I think, obviously, if we're talking about going to playoffs and we're talking about having a major impact, I just think the world of Baylor. I think what we saw last year is not the one-off. That's just the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you're BYU, I think you got to look at that game. I think Arkansas is another game, as you pointed out. I mean, obviously that's a marquee opponent. But I think on this schedule, the most difficult games for BYU to win and get up for are going to be your second-tier teams.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be – South Florida is not a second-tier team, in my opinion. But you look at the Blasted State. You look at games like that.
Wyoming.
You look at Wyoming.
Utah Tech. Liberty.
Those are games that you have to be ready to rock and roll.
East Carolina.
You have to be ready to go on those games. But I'm telling you right now, if there was one game on this schedule that worries me, and if you want an indicator of how difficult it's going to be for BYU to compete in the Big 12, look no further than the Baylor Bears.
Facts.
That team is going to be good.
And that's why I say that's the best the Big 12 has to offer, right? I mean, that's that's Baylor. If you can come out and improve upon your performance from last season, and this can be a tight game where, you're not letting them walk away from you in the second half like you did last year, if you can do all those things, and even if you lose the game, but you lose it by one possession, let's say, and it was a close game, highly competitive, good football game, you know what I'm talking about. These games where you're down 20 and we're garbage time for most of the second half, BYU can't have that. But if you're 5 minutes left in the fourth and Baylor scores, to seal the game, that's a good football game. I think even at that point, your program looks good. You lose the game, but you were highly competitive right down to the end. I think that's what the Big 12 is looking for. And so as much as I would love for BYU to win this football game, I think in the big picture what's more important is just simply to fight them to the end, even if you lose at that point. And that's why I say, looking at the schedule, you don't have to be a double-digit win team. That doesn't have to happen. But I think there is a path there. It's going to require another level out of Jaren. It's going to require a healthy offensive line for like most of the year. We can't have, I love Harris LaChance, but we can't have Buddy out for weeks on end. We can't have those oddball injuries that come up. And I know there's nothing. The problem is there's nothing you could do about those. That's the thing. Like when you get rolled up on as an offensive lineman, what are you going to do about that?
Well, BYU's got competition on that offensive line. I mean, every guy on that line, for the most part, every guy on that line is right now today competing for reps. And I think, again, the perfect example with Baylor. Dave Aranda knows how to build a defense. He gets the most out of his guys. And if BYU has any chance of beating Baylor that night, in Provo, they're going to have to stand up front because I think, and I don't care how much turnover you have on that Baylor offense, the game's going to be won in the lines. It's going to be one up front. Yeah, it always is.
Yes.
It's going to be one up front, and Baylor's going to be after that quarterback's ass. Like, I think, and by the way, when we're talking about BYU winning or losing, Jaren's got to be healthy. Because Jaren Hall has Heisman potential, but potential's meaningless if you're not on the field.
Agreed.
Your best ability is your availability, and Jaren Hall over his career at BYU has not been available nearly enough. So let's see if he can do that. But I think the key to this BYU team is going to be health, and they have to win the battle in the trenches. They have to be good up front. On offense, the line's got to stay healthy. They have more depth there. It's funny listening, to the people talking about BYU's depth, and I don't believe in star ratings and recruits. I don't believe in that at all. I really just do not. Okay. I think give me a 2-star recruit that has a great developmental staff. That kid can play with any 5-star recruit on the field, right? The only intangible that you can't teach is speed. BYU's got speed. BYU's got depth. BYU is better offensively, deeper offensively than they were at any point last year. Mm-hmm. And I know, Tyler Allgeier's, playing on Sundays, not Saturdays. Totally understand that. This team is going to be fine offensively if they stay healthy. Yeah. I think they're the top of the water for me. The best this team could do is one loss. I think you're asking far too much for BYU to open with USF, Baylor, Oregon, and then Notre Dame in the Shamrock Series. I just think that's an awful lot. That Wyoming and that Utah State game, if that game was in Logan, I'd tell you that's a game you need to be careful of.
Yeah.
That's a game you feel like you might
That's what
lose.
I'm saying. A lot of these games, your Baylors, your Utah States, like these are at Lavelle. Like these are in Provo, and that's why I say that on paper this schedule looks really daunting. I mean, it does. From BYU's perspective, I would guess that this schedule looks pretty difficult. But when I look at this, I say, okay, you just got to get to October 15th. Once you're at October 15th and you get through the Arkansas game, listen to the back end of the schedule. And this is why I think one loss is possible. So after Arkansas, you've got Liberty, East Carolina, Boise State, Utah Tech.
I'm sorry. Who?
East Carolina.
Boise State.
Okay,
go ahead.
So you got 4 wins right there. What should be 4 wins, no doubt about it. I don't want to see Idaho State crap come through this schedule like we did last year. I want an ass kicking against Liberty, East Carolina, and Boise State and Utah Tech. You think Stanford's a little better than I think they are? I think Stanford should be circled as a win as well.
But the other thing I want to see, and I know we've talked about this as well ad nauseum when we talk about BYU football.
Right.
I want to see 60, 70-point output against Utah Tech.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Light these guys up, man.
I want BYU to make a statement, and I feel like Kalani's one weakness is he's a bit too nice.
Yeah.
And I think when you look at some of the things that went on last year on the field, the disrespect, I think you need to come out and you need to punch some people in the face and you need to prove a point. Because if this team only loses one game, if you lose one game, you should be in the conversation for a college football playoff spot. Jaren Hall should be in the conversation for Heisman Trophy.
What did we talk about last season? We had huge debates on this show about this very topic last season. We talked all about how the college football playoff committee works, right? How do they rank teams? How do they choose teams? How does that process work? I got news for you. It's not complicated. It's a couple of people sitting around a table, looking at schedules, talking about what they remember, maybe looking at some highlights. So when you beat South Florida, you lose to Baylor, you beat Oregon, you beat Wyoming, you beat Utah State, and let's say somehow you beat Notre Dame, right? You're above 500. I know. You're above 500.
Oh my God.
Going to Arkansas, right? So let's say you lose to Arkansas, and now you're 500, or maybe you're one above 500. This 4-game stretch right here could very much determine where you land as far as bowl games are concerned, as far as your reputation is concerned. So I don't want to see, hey, we're up by 10 going to the half against Liberty, so we're going to take Jaren out and, we're going to be nice. I don't want to see that, dude. I want 35-plus point spreads on these mediocre teams because you are better than that.
Look at Caleb Harrison. The Utah Jazz TV star that wears hats. By the way, Caleb, you missed the show yesterday, I think. Bro, the braids are amazing. We were talking about this.
Yes, they are.
Congratulations on being the lucky charm for Kyle Kuzma. Mm-hmm. And it, again, is disappointing you didn't get him on the show.
Are people myriad?
You say that you listen to the show, you're a fan of the show, but you don't bring us Kyle Kuzma. I don't understand it.
M-O-N-T-Y, the Monty Show?
Yeah, the Monty Show. Thank you. But Caleb makes a really good point. BYU almost has to be perfect to have to make the college football playoff.
Yeah, so you can't afford
I totally agree,
I
Caleb.
completely agree. You can't afford to only beat Liberty by 10 points. That's not like Jaren Hall against Liberty as an example. That's 400 yards, 4 or 5 touchdowns, like lighting them up type stats. Because the reason you need that is so that later in the year, when you've earned your right to be in a bowl game and maybe if you got insane and you were just in the conversation for the college football playoff, they're not going to remember 30 points against Liberty. They're going to remember 65-70 against Liberty.
And we talked about this last year, and people said that we were wrong. Okay, well, that's fine. But I'm not here to be nice. I'm not here to win Mr. Nice Guy awards. I'm here to win national championships.
What did you say? Do you want to be nice or do you want to win football games?
It's that simple. Because you can't – I don't know that you can do both. I really don't.
Yeah.
I really don't know that you can do both. Spencer Smith says BYU's got to go 11-1 with a loss to Baylor. That's it. I'm confident this year. Love you guys, man. Thanks, Spencer. Good to see you, my friend. Thanks for being here. Let's see. Who else? Let's go back to the top here. Kurt Meyer says, good morning. JP Shanahan says, morning, guys. Why did it take you so long to finally admit on camera that Jake is your son?
I don't think it took long. I just think it's not something we talk about a ton, to be honest with you. Yeah,
okay,
I don't.
Listen, here's the story. His mom's a hooker in Casablanca. Her and I met one night in the back of a covered wagon, and we made magical love. I mean, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said hooker. A bar matron. What do you mean? Why did it take so? What are you talking about?
It's not like he was avoiding it or something. It's not like
I already suspected, but you were always so cryptic about it.
What?
God, we've talked about this 1,000 times.
Yeah, I'm not even trying to be cryptic about it. Like, I'm not trying to be weird about it. I don't think we've been cryptic about it. I mean, I think what it is, honestly, is that it just doesn't get talked about a lot. I just don't think it's that big of a thing on the show.
Wait. All right, welcome to the Monty Show where Jake's my son. Okay, cool. Talking BYU football. Like, are you kidding me?
I'm not trying to be cryptic.
What are you talking about? Exploring with Ben and Sam says, oh, we're ready for BYU, parentheses, I hope. You better hope. Neville93 says, good morning, my brother. What's up, my friend? Greasy Hands Auto Sean Butterfield. Good morning.
Sean?
Karen Montemayor, another one of my love children, says, good morning.
Yes.
Yeah. Good morning, casuals. Can I please get a casual shirt or at least a maple bar since you guys are doing a cut? If not, I'll speak with your manager again.
Hey, guys.
Exactly
Dude,
right.
A maple bar this morning would have been.
I'm fat. Kanai Johnson says, good morning, fellas. Speaking of Don, we've seen him working on his mid-range game, but what about his defense?
Well, here we go.
Wait, you want to play that right now?
We can do it now. We can do it later. I don't care, man. Whatever.
We'll play a video coming up here in a minute that talks about his defense. Teddy Wayman, good morning to you with a $5 tip. Morning, man, I'm going camping and about to lose phone service. Appreciate the show and hope y'all have a great weekend. Teddy,
Hey, be safe, buddy.
Talk to you soon, Teddy. Good to see you. Steve Peterson says, welcome to the Monty Show with fruits of my loins.
Fruits of my loins.
Now, with all due respect.
Yeah, at the end of the day.
Drink. With all due respect, Steve Peterson. Kurt Meyer says, so Jake is the result of Cougar Tales? Go Maple.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like this thing, JP Shanahan, what are you talking about?
I don't get it. I mean, it's not something that like he's hiding from. Like, I don't think we're hiding it at all.
Come on, get out of here. Dead Collector says, I'm just worried about New York. And why? What do you mean?
What do you mean by that?
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's a Donovan thing, but like, be more specific. What do you mean?
I'm you know.
Or is that a reference to the comment?
Dead Collector says, I'm just worried about BYU's running game. I hear the hype, but man, Algier will be hard to replace. He will, but I think Chris Brooks will do a nice job with that.
But listen,
that's a guy that's experienced. He's got big carries and big gains.
Yeah.
And by the way, I don't want to forget about Pini Katoa either. I mean, that's a guy that's experienced. Like, and if you look at the other running backs, you look at guys like Jackson McChesney, who's been waiting, it seems like, for 10 years.
Yeah.
Jackson McChesney, I don't know why. He feels like a guy who's been at BYU since, like, he and Lavelle recruited him. And,
yeah.
I mean, anyway. But, yeah, I would not sleep on the 1-2 punch of Brooks and Katoa. I think the running game will be fine.
Yeah, and I also think you can't forget that while Tyler Algier was an absolute beast, on paper has done it better than anyone ever has at BYU. You got to remember that offensive line was a huge reason why he was able to do that, and that's why I say I don't care who you are. If you've got a massive hole to run through, you're going to be in a good place. Now, Tyler Algier's ability to absorb contact and get to.
That says Jake, who is Monty's son. That's your new Chiron.
Thank you. See that? See what he's doing here? He's really trying to clarify, what's happening. Anyway, Tyler Algier's ability to absorb contact, much like your ability to absorb contact, was at a high level, and I think that's what I want to see. That's what I want to see out of these backs. Can Katoa bring that level of physicality? What do we get out of the other guys? And this is why I say, the running game has to be there because, again, Jaren Hall will not be successful if he doesn't have at least 2.5 to 3 seconds to stand there and serve it.
I agree.
You can't have him just being swarmed constantly.
Spencer Smith leaves us a $1.99 tip. Spence, appreciate you, man. Thanks so much.
Yeah,
have a great weekend. I love your avatar, though. It's like, Spencer, I'm going to assume that's you. It's Spencer just waving goodbye. Bye-bye. Yeah, by the way, where's the other penny? You couldn't leave us $2? I got kids to feed, obviously. Jake's my son, remember? Okay.
Relentless.
I need to stop.
Relentless, dude.
I just need to stop.
Fuck one, marry one, kill one. Go.
I'm just telling you. Again, his mom was a circus performer. We met. She swung from the trapeze.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
I ignored the sign that said, don't feed the animals. It is what it is. Hey, baby. Mark... So wait, your mom was a bar matron in Casablanca.
Yeah.
She's now a circus performer.
I love that show.
I'm running out of ammo here, man.
Yeah.
I'm running out. Come on, Cube. I'm running out. Mark Ruckert says, great feeling about this season for both BYU and Utah. However, getting to the college football playoff will require great coaching, few injuries, and a lot of luck. Well, luck plays a huge part of it.
Definitely.
But I do think your point about coaching, I mean, I don't know that there is a state in the union right now today that can boast Kalani Sitake and Kyle Whittingham type coaches. I don't. Whether that is, I mean, pick it. Texas, Alabama.
Roll Tide.
Like there's not another setup like Utah and BYU. And obviously with the Utes, I mean, you have a situation where you're coming off of a Rose Bowl performance that was scintillating. It's one of the best Rose Bowls I ever remember.
Yeah.
So I look at Utah. The thing that stands out to me about Utah is that I wonder how high they can raise the bar, because there's no reason to think that they can't beat USC. There's no reason to think that they can't win this conference. I mean, it's funny. We were talking to our friend Brian yesterday about the Utes.
Yeah.
And we were talking about how there's a chance that Kyle Whittingham could not be the coach this year. had last season not turned around so dramatically, he may have retired if last season went into a dumpster fire.
Right.
I mean, if they don't make that magical run under Cam, if they don't go to the Rose Bowl, if they don't win the conference championship,
Yeah.
If that doesn't happen, is Kyle Whittingham the head football coach at the University of Utah this morning?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I think I could make the argument he's not.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there was definitely a lot of rumors. We talked all about it last season about how retirement was definitely a threat to the program from Kyle Whittingham's standpoint. But again, going through their schedule, it's no secret, and the program has talked a lot about it. Kyle's talked about it. Cam's talked about it. You've got plenty of other players who have talked about the fact that Florida's week 1. And I do think they're going to beat Florida. It's my opinion. You're going to go to Gainesville, and you're going to win that football game. And I think the reason for that is because your defense is going to be on lock. I think what the strategy, just based on what I've seen, again, I'm not able to go to practice, obviously, but based on what I see online, the conversations, what's going on, and what we know about Kyle Whittingham, defense is first. And I think if defense is first, the game plan is going to be going to Gainesville with your defense on the same page, be stout, be disciplined, and then put your offense in a position to finish them off, So I could easily see this Florida game being a low-scoring game. I'm talking about like 15, 20 points for the Utes, maybe 10 points for Florida, maybe. I could easily see that. I could see some turnovers happening. Like, there's a lot of ways that this game could go sideways, but I think that Florida game is a win. I look at the rest of this schedule, and while, yes, on paper it looks daunting and everything, I'm going to apply the same logic from the BYU schedule that I do to the Utah schedule, which is, hey, you should – so I think you're going to win in week 1 against Florida. You're going to beat Southern Utah. San Diego State is always a grind, but I think that's a football game you should win.
Well, you know what? That, in all honesty, that's that game.
Yeah.
That you look at on your schedule, you're like, is that the game that derails you?
Because after that, you've got 3 gimmies. So San Diego State really is that first one after Florida, where you're like, hey, on paper we should win this game, but San Diego State has always been a proven team that will give you trouble. You know?
But if I look at that San Diego State game, I mean, the Florida game, listen. I think you have a lot on the line, obviously at Florida, but this is not Steve Spurrier's Florida Gators.
Correct.
That's not who this is. So I feel like that's a winnable game. That's a statement game because Florida still has some cachet.
It's week 1. That's the thing.
Well,
like, it's not like this is week 8 where you're prepped and everyone's good to go. Like, this is week 1. Week 1 usually is, hey, there might be some mistakes made. Like, we got to work out some kinks in our offense. Like that type of thing. But you don't have time for that this year, and that's why I think this schedule has, while it's difficult, yes, I do think it has a lot of opportunity in it for Utah. You're 8th in the country in preseason ranks right now, right? So people respect you. People think you're a top 10 team, but just hear me out. Let's say you beat Florida. You're going to beat Southern Utah. You beat San Diego State, Arizona State, Oregon State, and UCLA. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-0 heading into the SC game. If you're 6-0 heading into SC, and let's say you beat SC and you're 7-0, dude, you're looking at being 8, 9, 10-0 heading into Oregon, potentially. That's why I think Utah has a really nice schedule. That's why I think it's full of opportunity, because if you can accomplish that, you're going to be in a phenomenal position.
Well, and I think, Mahmoud Diabate coming over from Florida gives them tremendous speed, sideline speed at linebacker. And, I think that gives them, a bit of an advantage because you're losing Devin Lloyd. But I look up and down this depth chart. Van Filliger's got to have a huge season. They've got to figure out who's going to get after the quarterback, because, again, I go up and down this list and I look at Junior Tafuna. I know what I'm getting there. That's a kid, that is gonna be there. Listen, defensively is not the question. I will again say, when I look at Utah and I look at this depth chart, the biggest question for Utah is how much production are they getting from Vele? To me, he's the do they have the speed to take the top off the defense outside? Because with Brant Keithy, Dalton Kincaid, Cam Rising, you're going to run the football effectively. I don't think anybody doubts that. My question is, when I look at the great Phil Steele
The Bible.
I look at the ratings on these wide receivers, Vele, Ennis, those are the two guys, and really it's Devon Vele that's going to have to step up and make a huge difference. I don't see any reason. I don't think it's unreasonable to sit here and wonder if we have two college football playoff teams. Because until BYU loses multiple games, because I agree with Caleb, I agree with you, I think one loss puts them in position, depending on who that one loss is.
They'll be in the conversation at least,
But who are they going to lose to, and how are they going to lose that game?
Yeah.
Right? And are they going to come out and prove a point against the Utah Techs of the world? That to me is a huge thing. So, Mark, I think you're exactly right. Spencer Smith, with a $10 tip now.
Thank you,
says
Spencer.
BYU and Utah meet in the playoffs. Unlikely, but it would be badass. Oh, my God.
Find a way to play the Holy War. That's all I have to say.
You would knock the earth off of its towel.
Yes.
Are you kidding? The globe would stop spinning. If BYU and Utah met in a playoff game,
dude,
guy, come on. Rants. And then Rants comes in with some levity and says, Utah schools are relevant in college football.
Well, that's nice.
So wait, let me get this right. You won the Pac-12 championship. You went to the Rose Bowl. You were within a snap of beating Ohio State. Nah, that's not relevance. I mean, you know what? That's it. Shut the show down. Right? Well, why are we here?
Well, we already restarted the show once.
You know what? Shut the show down. We're out of here.
Pack everything up.
All right, I'm going to turn the lights back on.
Okay, thank you.
I feel better.
We're getting somewhere.
Rance says the Big 12 is a downgrade. A downgrade to who? Rance also says they're not done trading, blowing up the team. Okay. He says, worry about defense. Running backs never been an issue. The defense for BYU is a very big issue. I would agree with that. I think BYU, Malik Moore and company got to cover.
Yeah.
It's that simple. You want to win games? Cover. You got to cover. You got to show you can run. You got to show you can cover.
Y'all feel me?
I think BYU and Utah are very similar defensively. They're going to be good up front. You're going to get good linebacker play. You're going to get, in my opinion, Cole Bishop's one of the best safeties nobody knows about.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. BYU's got to prove they can run and cover in the secondary. Because other than that, I think as far as BYU goes, you've got a phenomenal wide receiver room. I think you've got depth at running back. I think you have incredible depth on the line. I think you have a Heisman Trophy caliber quarterback in Jaron Hall.
Mm-hmm.
Can you cover?
I don't want to see.
If this team can cover.
Dude, I don't want to see safeties being 20 yards in the wrong spot. I'm just going to put it that way. That happened too many times last year.
Yep. I agree. All right, couple more on this, and then we got to move on. Let's see. Patrick Bourne says the Utah Packers. We do not like ayahuasca tea in this state, so
y'all want to play.
Can't do the Green Bay Packers, with all due respect. Let's see.
With all due respect. Did you see how he worked that in a little bit?
That was brilliance.
Yeah, I've been immunized.
That was brilliance. Brandon James says, I want what he's having. Exactly right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly right. Jeremy Bolton says, morning, boys. LOL, a snap away from beating an Ohio State team sweet. Let's celebrate a loss. Oh, please. Oh, please. Ohio State was missing its starting 27 players.
You're casual.
Who cares?
Doesn't matter, dude.
Who cares? Who cares? I don't care. It was one of the best Rose Bowls I've ever seen. And if Cam Rising's healthy, Utah's going to the Pac-12 playoffs or the national the college football playoff.
Hello.
They're in. If they beat Ohio State, they're in.
Yeah.
Are you?
That's not even a conversation.
If they beat Ohio State last year, are they not more than 8th in the country right now? One snap. Cam Rising stays healthy. This is a different conversation.
You're a top 5 team right now if you beat Ohio State.
Yeah, anyway. Zach Thornton says BYU's defensive line needs to be great. It does because, and I think that's relative. I agree with you. It always needs to be great. But if BYU has struggles in the secondary again, and I agree with you, I'm tired of watching guys out of position. I think Malik Moore has got a lot of potential. I think that's a cat that can.
But I also think, like, for BYU too often for their defense, you're playing two high safeties, right? Like that's been their setup. And I think as a defense, you have to be disciplined enough with your assignments on the back end to play single high safety sometimes. Like you got to have that ability from time to time so that you can get that extra guy in the box and you can go and get the quarterback. That like you have to be able to do that. But to do that, you can't have missed assignments when you're playing too deep. Like that's not going to work. That can't happen.
I just think this front seven at BYU, and I'm talking about, guys like Tyler Batty, talking about guys like Ben Bywater, talking about, Keenan Peely, like you look up and down the Peyton Willigers of the world, they're going to be on the football. This defense is going to be on the football. There's no question about that. I look at the secondary and I look at what you have to accomplish and I look at what you have on the field talent-wise. This is my main question. And I've asked this repeatedly about this particular coaching staff. And this is one of the main complaints that people have with Tuiaki. Can you develop secondary players? You always have good linebackers at BYU. You always seemingly have size and athletic ability on the defensive line. You can't cover my mom last year. With all due respect. See,
hey guys.
Anyway, the point is, you have struggled to cover. You have struggled to be the athlete. And that's the thing when I talk about star rating. This is why I just don't care about star rating. If you get recruited to play football at BYU, you are an athlete. You're an athlete, right? The thing that stands out to me, though, is that it's great you're loaded at linebacker. And it's great you're really good up front. But I personally believe in Malik Moore. He can't be the only guy back there.
Correct.
I mean, you got to show me that you took a bunch of, white guys and you made them defensive backs. Right? Like, that's the knock on BYU. Well, all these missionaries, they're 37 years old. They're married. They've got like 11 kids and they can't run. Is that the narrative that's going to play out? Or are we going to actually see quality coverage where I agree with you? Can we play man defense on the back end at BYU?
No.
Are we going to have to play high safeties? Are we going to have to play zones? Are we going to have to help? Are we going to have to rotate guys high? Like
you should be able to play man and be fine. You should be able to do that.
Is a guy like Chaz Ayu down in the box, or is he dropping all the time?
And that's why I say the Baylor game is a statement game. Baylor threw it all over you. Baylor threw it over the top several times. Yeah. And that's because your safeties had no idea where to be. That's the problem.
Yeah, I think, the thing that I struggle with is this idea that, like, Judy Lawley has to come in here and he has to be good. He has to play, and he has to play well. And I think one of the things that you're going to see is, my question is, very simply in football terms, are you a nickel and dime defense? Are you constantly in nickel and dime? Because if you are, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
You're not winning. You're not winning 10 games in nickel and dime. You're just not going to do it. You have to be able to man. And the other thing is, what are your coverage abilities in the red zone?
Mm-hmm.
Because one of the things I hated about this defense was that is the injuries, number one, obviously. But I don't know. I could go on and on.
Yeah.
We need to get on the field and we need to see this team cover.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line.
Correct.
That's absolutely the bottom line. I just, let's see. Jake Brandon says linebackers are loaded this year. The D-line is healthy too. Yeah. Yeah. Harris LeChance is a critical player on the offensive line. It's that simple. He is massive human being. He is a guy that is good. He is quality. But can he stay healthy?
Bench.
800 pounds. Can they stay healthy? Can you get, can Clark Barrington play every week? What about Connor Pay? Like, can you find me 5 guys and then 3 more behind them that can step in and not miss a beat? Because you look at the guys that you have, your tackles should be really, really good.
Yeah.
Your tackles should be excellent. And with a guy like Jaren Hall in the backfield, you don't need 10 seconds of pass pro.
No.
Give me 3 good seconds. Give me 5 good seconds. Because when Jaren Hall, and again, one of the things I want to see, speaking of development, I want to see Jaren Hall be a much better thrower of the football. And, his deep ball. Okay, cool. Show me touch and accuracy underneath.
Yes.
Show me better decision-making and step out of bounds instead of playing linebacker.
Put it where it should be for your receiver to get 5 extra yards after the catch.
Because again, when you look at the Pukas and the Gunners and you look at Cody Epps is a stud waiting to happen. Cody Epps is a kid that I think can absolutely positively be as productive as any player on this roster.
Mm-hmm.
He can be as productive as and again, I know I believe in guys far too much. I get emotional about players like on it in college football. I love it. Cody Epps is a guy I get attached to. I want to see that kid play football.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got talent in the wide receiver room. You do. And the Jaren Hall's got to perform now. Like all these questions, they come down to one simple thing. Did you have a good spring? Did you have a good summer? And are you going to have a good fall? Because that's where these games are won. You're not beating Baylor on the field that day that you play Baylor. You beat Baylor the day last season ended. You beat Baylor the day BYU is beating Baylor the day they decided not to sleep in and they went and they hit that bench. They beat Baylor in the summer when they chose, hey, you know what? I'm going to run this extra sprint. Hey, I'm not going to eat at Cubby's anymore. I'm going down the street and I'm getting me some fresh. I'm going to eat some greens today. That's when you beat Baylor. Did they make those decisions? Did they do that? Because if they did that, if they lifted all them weights, what's the old saying? This is why we lift all them weights.
This is why.
See what he did there?
Do you even lift?
This is why, right? But that's what you do. And you make good choices. You work your ass off. You develop yourself. That's what top tier football programs do. You want to win. You want to win a Big 12 championship in the next 5 seasons. You better be choosing weightlifting over sleeping or video games. Or hey, let's go play some VR. Let's go Halo on VR and stuff. Nah, bro. Let's go get back day in. Let's go get leg day in. Let's go run the hill real quick. Then we can play VR.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, hey, let's not eat at Cubby's. Let's go eat at Jersey Mike's.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're not having the tri-tip sandwich. We're having the number 17 veggie special. That's what I'm saying.
Fat.
Anyway. All right, let's keep going. Greg Hawkins, what's up?
Gregory.
What's up?
Back on U.S. soil, sir.
Greg Hawkins is home. He says, sup, casuals. Sup.
You're a casual.
What's it like to listen to the show at a reasonable time?
Yeah, like in the state of Utah. Jeremy Bolton says, LOL freaking UAB, but BYU isn't celebrating a loss. If you don't watch the Rose Bowl last year, you'd think Utah won.
Bro.
Let's see, everybody watches because it's the Rose Bowl.
Because it's the Rose Bowl.
Jeremy Bolton he's showing up on the show today.
Jeremy,
like
you're
salty.
I love you, bro, but you're being salty is the best way I would say about it. Like I think you're not celebrating a loss. You're saying, hey, we got to the pinnacle and we came up one play short.
Listen. Utah. Anyway, Utah won the Pac-12 championship. Aaron Lowe, that situation should have broke most teams. Let's just be honest about it.
Yeah.
It didn't. You come back, you lose quitter noodle arm quarterback because he can't hang with whale's vagina.
Mm-hmm.
Cam Rising shouldn't have come in and won. He should have just come in and taken snaps, and they should have gone away, and Witt should have retired. And
I say I'm just fired up to be here today.
Program should have fallen apart. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. They chose not to do that. They chose to do hard better, right? So what they did is they worked harder. Cam Rising was ready. Cam Rising stepped in. They didn't not only miss a beat, but they got better.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't care what kind of Rose Bowl it was and who played. They won the Pac-12 championship. They went to the Rose Bowl, and if Cam Rising doesn't get hurt, well, he did. Okay, so some guy you've never seen play football came in and almost beat Ohio State.
I'm for real.
And I'm not the guy that's going to sit here and knock Utah last year. They earned my respect last year.
Yeah.
They earned it. They went to the Rose Bowl. They went blow for blow with Ohio State. Can BYU step on a field today and go head-to-head with Ohio State? Probably not. Probably not. And again, yes, I realize the streak came to an end last year. It's unfortunate we're not going to play the Holy War this year. Mm-hmm. But what I'm telling you is Utah earns your respect.
Yeah.
Utah earns your respect. If you can't respect the achievements, the rise out of adversity that this club went through last year. Come on. Caleb, Utah and BYU have been in the top 18 mix consistently the last few seasons. Yeah, they have. Yes, absolutely they have. Michigan State Spartans kind of falling off. Caleb, listen, it's bad enough that you put pepperoni on pizza. Now you want to roll in here talking about Sparty. By the way, did you guys see that they extended Tom Izzo?
Wow, I'm shocked.
The Hizzo.
Wow.
Anyway. Jeremy Bolton says, depth has always been an issue at BYU since the dawn of time. Getting into the Big 12 is going to help with that for the first time. BYU has athletes to hang with anybody, but no depth after that. I think positionally speaking, I don't know that you've ever had more depth at wide receiver. I don't frankly know that you've ever had more depth on offensive line than you've had now, than you have now. I think the linebackers are.
I think you're in a good place. It's very simple. Your starters are going to execute or they're not. Like
Christopher Brooks has to play well.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Peeney. Don't get me wrong. He's not a number one running back. I think we all can agree with that. That's the one. He might be the tipping point.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if Christopher Brooks doesn't stay healthy, that could be a real problem. I think you would have to significantly change what you do on offense. Because I just don't know that Peeney's that guy.
Yeah.
I'm not convinced that. He's a great number 2. He's a great lightning to your thunder. But we'll see. I think that's interesting. I don't know, man. Secondary depth is my biggest question. That's my biggest question. So we'll see. Let's see. And donuts. I'll take I'll take like a strawberry or a raspberry jelly donut, and
I want it.
Let's go with an apple fritter. The number 10 BYU got hammered by a first-year head coach in OC last year by Boise State in Provo. This year won't be any different in Boise.
We'll see.
Now you come in here like a rain cloud coming over the Oakers.
Sorry if you're offended by that.
Why? It's blue turf. Nobody wins games on blue turf. No, I'm kidding. Well, Boise's always a tough place to play.
Yes.
I mean, there's no question about that. I mean, that's a game that we should go to the Boise game this year.
Yeah, that's a game you should win. It is. Like, if you're legit, you'll win that game.
Yeah. Jeremy Bolton says, Greg, welcome back. Hello. Walter Butler says, listening to BYU football talk, that's how good you guys are. A 50-year Nick fan finds great old school talk radio streaming in Utah.
Just saying.
Look, it's what I always say. When I was a supermodel walking the runways of Paris and Milan, they always found me because, this physique and stuff.
Right.
I don't know. I have nowhere to go with that. Nowhere to go with that.
I appreciate that comment, though.
Rand says, I don't know about falling off always in the top 4 or so. Okay. Stephen Guild says, Sparty only team to beat Michigan during the season. They won 11 games last year. Falling off, do you know anything about football? Okay, now it's getting salty. I feel like we're mixing in a little taco seasoning as well to really kick up the heat.
Right.
By the way, I'm going to Red Iguana tonight, so you're not. Let's see. JP Shanahan says, you guys had me in stitches when you answered my question. Look.
Listen, you're going to roll in here and question,
It is not my fault that your mom was a lot lizard
I'm sorry, did you say she was a lot lizard?
It vexes me.
Well, we went from bar matron in Casablanca
vexed.
to circus performer. I don't have a lot of places else to go.
We're in a strange time.
You know.
Dude, bro.
What? So
she's all these things, and you still chose to do your thing.
Hey, man, when a dude feeling freaky, you got to get your freak on. You know. Wrap it up, double bag it, do what you got to do.
Double bag it.
And just kind of scruff it and play with it when it's wet.
You know.
Bro.
Thanks for wrecking the show, JP. CKS says, but BYU ignores the fact that losing to UAB did matter. It did matter. Yes,
Yeah, it did.
Michigan isn't a super team. Georgia beat them. Okay, Jim Harbaugh. Okay, wait. Play the F one, marry one, kill one.
Okay, hang on. Okay, go ahead.
Let's see. Jim Harbaugh, Dave Aranda, or Nick Rolovich.
You gotta fuck one, marry one, kill one. Go.
I'm probably marrying Dave Aranda. I'm probably killing Nick Rolovich. Damn.
I'll drop that mother.
The options are not good for Jim Harbaugh. I am not a Jim Harbaugh fan.
No.
Having covered him when he was with the Niners, the guy's a nightmare. The burnout factor is massive.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't think he can win the biggest games. I really don't believe Jim Harbaugh is a big game coach.
Yeah.
I do not. Jeremy Bolton says, losing to UAB didn't matter. Who the F cares? Well, it mattered.
Yeah.
How was that playoff spot last year? Yeah, that's what I thought. Patrick Bourne says Utah healthy won that game. Yeah, I would agree. I think
everybody agrees, dude. It's universally accepted. They would have won the game. And again,
yes.
By the way, it doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter. It was last season, but all I'm here to tell you is that they can do the exact same thing this year. And I think they can do it in a bigger fashion. I think they can make more noise than they were able to make last year. You're talking about a team who almost won the Rose Bowl after players died consecutive years. Like it was a very just emotional.
Kyle Whittingham
heavy.
had 1 foot out the door. Bro was cashing in his 401k. Are you kidding me?
The opposite of full.
The resurrection job on the Hill last year was amazing.
Pack this thing up. We're out of
Like
here.
amazing. Caleb says that no gets me every time. LOL. Yes, it does. It's one of the great drops.
No.
That's Lisa Wilson, Zach Wilson's mom. That's Lisa Wilson's friend on video denying that she's the friend who had sex with Zach. Like, it's amazing. Chris P says Utah won't the Pac-12 when the league was at it. Won the Pac-12 when the league was at its. Who cares?
Yeah, come on.
The league was at its lowest. Who cares? They won the Pac-12. Oh wow, Alabama.
So are we? So you're probably the same guy that's handicapping LeBron's championship in the bubble, right?
Come on. Dead Collector says not only is this a great sports talk show, it's great comedy as well. Thank you, appreciate that. Jeremy Bolton says if Tom Brady, Brian Urlacher, and Walter Payton would have played for BYU against UAB, they would have won. That's a very good point. Brian Urlacher would have been a hell of a fullback in that game.
A hell of a fullback.
Brian Urlacher,
that bald middle linebacker that could run a little bit.
No, he's not bald.
Yeah, he kept his head shaved. Whatever. Same thing.
Brian Urlacher with hair is still incredibly awkward for me.
Correctamundo.
Really awkward. TJ McVeigh says, not to mention a banged-up secondary for Utah going into the Rose Bowl. True.
Correct.
But we all have injuries. The best teams have death.
Mm-hmm.
Louis Diaz says, if it true that Donovan is done deal, just waiting till September to package guy from the Wolves, 20-win game this season coming in. I don't think that's true.
No.
Because why do the Knicks want Patrick Beverley? Why do the Knicks want Malik Beasley? And if you're trading Donovan Mitchell, you're telling me you're trading Jared Vanderbilt? Okay, let's switch gears here on the Monty Show. By the way, next week, a huge new sponsor comes on board.
Mm-hmm.
So pumped about that one. So pumped. Let's talk about Donovan Mitchell a little bit. If I had to put you on the spot right now on Friday, August 12th, 2022,
mm-hmm.
Donovan Mitchell in camp or not in camp with the Jazz?
In camp. Plays the first half of the year with the Jazz. That's my opinion.
I think it's 80-20 that he's in camp. I could still see a situation where I I am of the belief that the Knicks are trying to get Kevin Durant. I've heard it too many times from too many NBA people that I know. I think the Knicks would like Kevin Durant.
Look, the thing with the Knicks and Kevin Durant that to me makes sense, and again, this isn't like sourced information or anything. This is just my opinion. But what I think makes a lot of sense is that the Knicks have been trying to get Don with this package with Danny that we've been talking about, the 6 picks and the multiple players and, just that whole thing we've talked about ad nauseum on the show. And if you're any kind of Knicks or Jazz fan, you've heard about that trade package. So what makes a lot of sense to me is that if you're the Knicks, if you're going to give up that much, why would you give up that much on Donovan Mitchell when you can give up that much and get Kevin Durant, right? You're extending your return on that investment, if you will. And so to me, that makes a lot of sense. The only problem is that I don't know how much Joe Tsai is catering to Kevin Durant. Now, I got to imagine it's not very much. I got to imagine that Joe Tsai probably is not, the owner of the Nets, Joe Tsai, is probably not catering to Kevin Durant too much. But we've heard a lot of smoke about like, hey, Kevin wants to go and play in Philly, or Kevin would play in Boston, or Kevin would play here or there. And the Knicks weren't on that list or whatever. The Knicks haven't been in the news from that standpoint. So I just think it's really interesting when we start talking about, well, where's Kevin going to get traded and how does that affect Donovan Mitchell? Well, that's how I think it could potentially affect Donovan Mitchell. If I'm the Knicks and I'm giving up that price either way, I think we can all agree you'd rather have Kevin Durant than Donovan Mitchell. So that's the thing that to me makes a lot of sense, and to me, why Donovan Mitchell will be in camp and why I think ultimately he's going to be here for a minute. And by the way, I will also say we've been very consistent on the show talking about Don's development this summer in the mid-range, and I think you're seeing that. And I think it's a clear sign that Donovan Mitchell understands what's on the line this year for him.
All right, speaking of Don in the mid-range, let the video speak for itself. Here's Donovan Mitchell and Anthony Edwards battling head-to-head.
5, 4, 3, 2, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Good beat. Oh, that's tough. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh, ball game.
So what you saw there, and I'm going to play that video again, it starts with Anthony Edwards on the ball. I want you to notice Donovan Mitchell's defense. This is Anthony Edwards and Donovan Mitchell going head-to-head. Notice that Donovan Mitchell plays really good defense on Anthony Edwards, one of the best athletes in the NBA. Edwards is then going to take the ball from Donovan Mitchell. Don's going to dribble a little too much. He was waiting for a screen, I think. Comes down, dunks the ball. But watch what Donovan Mitchell does on the last play of this video. Donovan Mitchell going full mid-range off of a screen, pull up at the elbow to knock it down, which is something we had not seen him do effectively in probably 2 seasons.
5, 4, 3, 2. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Good beat. Oh, that's tough. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh, ball game.
That's sweet. That last pull-up jumper gives you so much hope. And all the tape we've seen on Donovan Mitchell coming out here is of Don working on his mid-range game. And I think when you look at that and you look at what we've talked about, if he's going to do that consistently, because screen roll and offensive action off of screens in this league is just so critical to the success of the individual and the team. If Donovan Mitchell is going to be that guy in the mid-range, he's going to score 30 points a game. He's going to. I mean, it's it is the biggest gap in his offensive game because he can already get to the rim and he can already shoot from significant range from three. He needs that mid-range game. Jake, if Donovan Mitchell's going to do that, he's going to be a monster on offense.
Yeah, and I think that this is what we've been talking about all offseason, that Donovan Mitchell needs to learn how to leverage the screen to get to his spots in the mid-range. And I think every effective scorer in the NBA does that. And I think one thing that people knock Donovan Mitchell for is his size. Well, I think he can get over that hump by being able to leverage the mid-range. That's the thing. You don't need Donovan Mitchell playing at the rim constantly. And that's what I think was his issue last season. He was either playing at the rim too much or he was taking too many threes. He was missing the second level in his offensive game. And that's why I say, if you know how to use the screen to get to the mid-range and knock that down reliably, you're going to be in a much better place. You talk about him averaging 30 points a night. Well, to do that, you got to have a knockdown elbow jumper. And I'm not saying that he's going to come out and shoot some ridiculous percentage from the mid-range, but that kind of highlight shows you that he's got confidence to go and hit that shot. And that's what I think can be game-changing. Not only is he developing his game, but he's got a new head coach and he's in a new system that should give him more space. And so that's why I say, all these people saying, oh, well, Don doesn't want to be in Utah. Don wants to leave. Don wants to do this. Don wants to do that. Do you realize Donovan Mitchell has one of the best opportunities right now in Utah, of anybody? Don got a new head coach with a new opportunity and a new system that does not involve Rudy Gobert. What does that mean? How does that pan out on the floor? Well, I can tell you. The way that pans out is it's a much faster-paced offense. The ball is going to be moving a lot more than it was, and Don's going to get more open, high-percentage looks than he was before, which for someone like him should mean, 28, 30, 35 points in any given night. That's what you should be excited about.
Yeah, I agree, and I think it's one of those things that the proof ultimately is in the pudding. There's no doubt about that. I have no doubt that he's going to score 30 points a game. It is 7:35. This portion of the show is brought to you by our good friend Devry Davis at Academy Mortgage.
You're listening to The Monty Show, my favorite peeps. I'm Devry Davis with the Davis Lending Team, powered by Academy Mortgage. Whether you're a first-time home buyer, you don't know what you're doing, you bought multiple homes, second homes, investment properties, multifamily, we've got you covered. Our office consists of everybody it takes to do your loan, from processing to underwriting to doc departments. We do it all right here. We're not waiting on Tucumcari or Walla Walla, Washington to answer an email. We take care of it here. The housing market's changed. Prices are dropping. It's the greatest time to buy a house. There's no such thing as a dumb question. If you have any questions, you give me a shout. I'll walk you through it. Have a great day. Tell my money guys I said what's up.
There you go. Devry did. That's our guy. I'm telling you, man. Devry has been a really good resource for us in real estate. You guys know that we do quite a bit of real estate work. We try to be real estate investors in what's been a difficult market, and Devry has really guided us. He's done 3 mortgages on my homes for me personally, and the thing that Devry Davis does better than anybody else is he sets you straight. Devry Davis is not the guy you go to and he says, oh, yeah, let me have you talk to Steve over here. He'll get you the best rate for us. No, Devry Davis is going to tell you, and it's funny, I was messaging with an anonymous user because I don't want to give his personal business information away. I was messaging with somebody who talked to Devry Davis about a mortgage, and he felt like it was not a great situation for that guy. So Devry told him, don't change what you're doing. Stay in the situation you're in. Devry could have easily said, oh, yeah, let's get this done, but he didn't. And that's what I love about Devry Davis. He's going to get you the best situation. And by the way, if you're struggling financially or you don't feel like you have the money for a down payment, Devry Davis at Academy Mortgage has programs. He has mortgages that mean you don't have to go into your pocket. You don't have to come up with a ton of money or any money at all to put down on a mortgage. You can get into a mortgage with no money out of your pocket. It's as simple as making that one phone call that will change your life. 801-543-9666. 801-543-9666. NMLS number 278545. Devry Davis and Academy Mortgage are equal housing lenders. The biggest stories in sports this morning very certainly surround this new video of Donovan Mitchell. And I'm just curious, where you guys come down on what you saw in that video. What I saw in that video was Donovan Mitchell playing much better defense. What I see in that video is Donovan Mitchell with a lethal mid-range game. And the thing that I don't see in that video is a Utah Jazz team that misses the playoffs. That's the thing I don't see in that video. And I know we've had this conversation a lot, and I know the local media of late continues to be super negative on the Jazz. There's two things I want you to consider when we talk about the Jazz and where they come down and what's going to happen with the Jazz as far as the playoffs go this year. How many wins do you think the Utah Jazz will have this season? The over-under from ESPN was set at 26 games. Most of the media members in this town say 25 to 27 wins. I just don't see that because the one thing is you're making that prediction now today. Is there anybody watching this show who thinks Danny Ainge is done dealing? No. Is there anybody watching this show who thinks we're going to training camp with the roster as it is currently constructed? Jake, I just don't see that as a possibility.
Yeah, and I have to be honest with you. I think the 26 win thing from ESPN is disrespectful. I think that Donovan Mitchell is, as you always say, is good for 10 on his own, and I think that this Utah Jazz team right now, as it's currently constructed, is a 35-40 win team, in my opinion. I think that the Jazz are not done. There's going to be more moves made. You're probably not going to have a Bojan Bogdanovic or a Mike Conley on your team. But with that said, I do think that this new system is going to allow them to score 120, 125 points a night. I could easily see that. Now, the question is going to be, who can you stop? So, yeah, to me, I've been saying I think this is a 35 to 38 win team. Somewhere in that mid to upper 30 range, to me, feels comfortable. And the reason I say that is because Donovan Mitchell has a point to prove this season. Like when we talk about the media and like what the narrative is, both nationally and locally, nobody seems to understand that Donovan Mitchell has a point to prove. This is again, as you always say, it's a prove it year for Don. Like yes. He has to show the ability to knock down that mid-range. He has to solidify himself, as a no doubt about it stud. Like that has to happen. Don's got to take that next step. And that's why I say the Utah Jazz are not looking to trade Donovan Mitchell, as we've been saying for, I feel like, a year now. Like, what they're looking to do is make their team better. So if the Knicks are going to offer some ridiculous trade package and it meets Danny's price, great, they'll trade him. But I just don't think that the Knicks are willing to step up to that plate, and the Utah Jazz don't want to trade Donovan Mitchell. So I just think, to me, he's going to be here. He's going to play with a point to prove, and that's very good for your basketball team when your stars are engaged and have something to prove.
Yeah, I totally agree. All right. Craig is the Bob says, morning, dudes. Love the show. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Craig.
David Fulmer says, good morning, boys. I had Chipotle for the first time in almost a year.
What did you get?
He's currently regretting getting the corn salsa, if you know what I mean. Now, I've been skipping corn salsa lately because I feel like Chipotle's been putting a hell of a lot more jalapeno chunks in there.
Butthole.
Yeah, butthole ain't happy about that, man. Dead Collector says Jazz will not trade Donovan Mitchell this year. My feeling is it's 80-20. I think Donovan Mitchell comes back to camp, and I think he's going to score 30 points a game. I'll just keep on saying it over and over. Let's see. Mardino87 says, I like that most Jazz fans aren't big-headed about the season. That could be. He also says, if Donovan stays, we have a chance at the playoffs at least. I would agree with that. Tanner Plummer, good morning to you. He says, that's a cool video, but can he do that consistently in a real NBA game? That remains to be seen. I think he can.
Tricky T.
I think he can. I think he can. Absolutely he can. Zesty's Retro and Games says, good morning, guys. How we feeling about MLB right now? Any thoughts? It was nice to see the Cubs win in the cornfield. The San Diego Padres are finally hitting. And I don't know what's wrong with the Yankees. All right, let's keep going. Rand says the Dodgers look tough. Yeah, the Dodgers are the best team in baseball, and it ain't close. Jeremy Bolton says, watching these videos of NBA players during the summers is like watching Ben Simmons and Carmelo Anthony making threes against nobodies. Carmelo Anthony's got offers. That's a guy that I think is going to why wouldn't he play another year?
And I have to say I disagree. I think what you're missing here with these videos is that stars in the summer, it's not an accident they're putting out videos. So, like, the other day I pointed out that you haven't really seen much Kevin Durant tape this summer, right? You just haven't seen it, you know? But what have you seen? You've seen a lot of Donovan Mitchell tape. And I think that is very intentional. I think Don is trying to show Utah Jazz fans and really just the NBA world that he is working. And yes, he has flaws. He's not perfect. There are things that he's got to get way better at. But I think when you're trying to guard Anthony Edwards, like, that was good defense. I think, the over dribbling thing, that's going to lead to a turnover against a guy like Anthony Edwards. That's just how the league works. But to come back and then hit the mid-range jumper the way he did, 4-game winner in that setting, I think is good work, man.
I think Donovan also has to learn to trust his teammates. I think because that's where the turnovers in the paint come from, in my opinion. I think he doesn't trust his teammates. And I think that is an unwillingness to pass, a hesitation to pass. And I think that's exactly what that means. And I think if he learns to trust his teammates, which is why I say, if you bring in new blood, which they have, and if you continue to turn this roster over, and when Pat Bev is able to be traded, I think when you bring in new bodies, guys like, I wouldn't trade Beasley, but I've also been told Malik Beasley has people asking for him. My point is that I think Donovan has better, able shooters now. Guys that he more believes in. So we'll see if that plays itself out. Greg Romney says, if we trade Don, it'll be a huge mistake. Incredible season incoming. I remember watching him in the Clippers series injured and was still blown away by how elite of a scorer he can be on one leg.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like, if he adds the mid-range, he's already got a good finishing package, and he has 3-point range. I mean, you can get whatever you want.
Caleb Harrison says Donovan in camp. Okay. I like that. Louis Diaz says Ben Simmons shoots 5 straight last summer. Yeah, well, unfortunately, he didn't play last year. Jeremy Bolton says, I want Don back 100%.
Yeah.
Caleb Harrison says, KD needs a big. Him and Julius Randle and him together would be nice. I agree. I actually think that Julius Randle... You all right over there?
Yeah, it's Friday, bro.
I actually think that Julius Randle and Kevin Durant works. I think it works. Julius Randle, his talent and ability is not the question. It's his headspace.
Yeah.
That's the only question you have about that guy. So it is what it is. Tanner Plummer says, oh, great. Ads have taken over the Monty show. Listen. This is our gig now. This is our full-time gig. As I said, I am super stoked to announce our new ad partner next week at some point.
The Monty show.
I am super stoked to be partnered with a guy like Devery Davis at Academy Mortgage. I am super stoked to be partnered with the guys at Barbecue Pit Stop. Those guys, and I would remind you, Barbecue Pit Stop, we've had a relationship with them all the way back to my days at K-Fan. Guys like Devery Davis wrote my first mortgage in 2014. I've known Devery Davis for over a decade. Like, Devery Davis is a guy that we have a relationship with. Those are the people we do business with. We need you to support them. So, Tricky T, Tanner, we need you to go to Barbecue Pit Stop. We need you to call Devery Davis. Next week, huge new sponsor on the show next week.
And I think the other thing I would say on that is, it's not like the show is just infested with ED commercials,
dick pills,
or like just random stuff. I mean, you're talking about life-changing stuff like mortgage, or when you want to add to your backyard, Barbecue Pit Stop. Like, I mean, you have these are it's. I just think to say that it's in. What did he say? What did he say? It's got all kinds of ads.
It's infested with, or taken over by ads.
We're taken over by ads. I think that's a little bit ridiculous, and I think you know that.
Yeah,
I think that.
And I think the ads that we bring to you guys, the promise that we always make is that you're not going to see dick pills and ED on our show.
Yeah.
It's just not our flow.
Yeah.
We're always going to bring you things like our Max Muscle, our friends at Max Muscle, we've known for 10 years. Go into Max Muscle. They don't even advertise on the show. They gave us a promo code, like, go into Max Muscle, promo code Monty15. Tell them you heard about it on the show. Say, hey, thanks for supporting the show. I'll take some peach mango emerge. Hey, do you guys let me get some of that Max Pro protein powder.
The other thing I'd say too
makes a difference.
And I have no problem saying it. How do you think BYU driveaways are funded and made possible? How do you think that stuff happens? Do you think do you think that the tickets were free? Do you think that the $250 gas card that the winner's going to get was free? Like,
you guys, the stuff that is coming on this show in the next 6 weeks.
Yeah.
We are there is, and I don't know, maybe I'm over the top with it. we're going to make an announcement in less than a month that is going to absolutely blow your mind.
It will change a lot.
It will blow your mind.
Yeah.
It will absolutely blow your mind. That announcement's coming. Like, I'm telling you that we did not leave six-figure incomes behind at Yelp to come and do this show full-time for no reason. So, and I get it. I understand you guys are not, this is not the show that traditionally has done ads, but you know what? I'm telling you, times change. You know what I'm saying. Caleb Harrison says, headed to work, switching over to Spotify. Thanks, guys. Enjoy your day weekend. Caleb, have a great day.
See you, buddy.
Appreciate you, man. Let's see. Who else? Mardino87 says, casuals get cut is enough advertising for me. Appreciate the motivation. Appreciate you being there. Thank you. Let's see. Greg Hawkins says, sponsors are not ads. No, they're not. I agree with that.
Greg, why do you say, though? I would love to hear Greg's opinion on this as someone who is like a how would you describe Greg? A movie star in the Philippines.
Greg Hawkins is a model. Legitimately, he's a model. Greg Hawkins is just a good-looking dude. It's annoying. Like, it is annoying. Like, you're annoying. You're a good-looking. Lisa Wilson's attracted to you.
Yes.
Like, it's annoying, Greg. But Greg is legit a model. Greg's been in like massive billboard campaigns. He's been on huge TV shows. He's been in movies. Like, Greg's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
Frankly.
Yeah.
So I think Greg understands the branding aspect of things. Let's see. Where do we go here? TJ McVeigh says, I'm a huge Braves fan and hate the Mets, but boy, they look good.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
But they still got to put it together, though.
If Jacob deGrom stays healthy, I think the Mets are the favorite to win the National League, right next to the Dodgers, because Kershaw's not healthy ever. So
yeah,
we'll see. TJ McVeigh says, hard to trust Rudy when he has terrible hands.
Agreed.
There is this narrative that Rudy Gobert didn't want to trade. I don't know how many more times I can say this. At the end of last season, the last 6 weeks of the season, and when they had their exit conversation, because the Jazz and Rudy Gobert were in constant communications all the way up to the end, Rudy Gobert's folks told me straight away, he told the Jazz, I'm not demanding a trade, but I am frustrated that I do not get a bigger piece of the offense, and it is hurtful to me that I am the scapegoat. Hello. It is hurtful to me that I am the scapegoat. Good Lord. Scapegoat of the defense. He gets blamed. Rudy Gobert believes that he took too much blame for the struggles defensively of this Utah Jazz team. And he was the scapegoat of the defense. Mm-hmm. And he said, I don't want to be traded, but if there is a situation that presents itself and you can move me to a new spot, I would not say no. Mm-hmm. He never demanded a trade, but Rudy Gobert was not unhappy to move to Minnesota. And the people that I talked to with Rudy Gobert, they straight up said he was emotional when he left. When he found out about the trade, there was a period where Rudy Gobert was emotional because he loves the fans. He loved living in Utah. But there was also a part of him that was very excited about landing with Karl Anthony Towns in Minnesota.
Right.
Because he knows what his highest best use is. And it's what we talked about for the last 2 years. You sign a $41 million AAV contract. Mm-hmm. They owe him, I think, $168 million guaranteed.
Yeah.
23% of the salary cap for a guy who really is played off the floor during the playoffs.
Yeah.
You can't have that. Well, now in Minnesota they can because his offense is irrelevant there. Anthony Edwards is coming for that air.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that Rudy Gobert is not a good player. I'm not. Caleb also says, can't doubt the Jazz just because they have one off season. They actually got better in some ways for now and in the future after the Gobert trade. They're a better, more well-enabled basketball organization because of the Rudy Gobert trade.
Yes.
There is absolutely no doubt about it. Tanner Plummer says, LOL, love the new drops, Jake.
Yeah, I don't know where I got them from. I mean, I just happened upon them.
Not sure, you know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Not sure. Yeah, exactly. Morandini87 says ads mean the show is improving. Let's go. Yeah. And we try not to be, we will not be oppressive with it. We really are trying to have advertisers that you guys care about.
Yeah.
Because again, the only way that our sponsors and the people that enable us to do things on this show, like Barbecue Pit Stop, like Devery Davis, it only works if you ring their phone. It only works if you go to BBQ Pit Stop and shop online. If you go into their stores, if you show up on September 17th for the drawing and watch the Oregon game at the Barbecue Pit Stop in Lehigh. We need a big turnout there, frankly. We need a lot of people to come hang out and watch the BYU game with us. We need that. So that's the way it works. Let's see. Tanner Plummer says, it's all good. I can live with ads and sponsors. Okay. Jeremy Bolton says, Greg Hawkins is a blue cheese connoisseur. Well, that's the other thing. It does piss me off that Greg is so good looking.
Right.
It's annoying, frankly.
Right.
And he likes blue cheese.
You're cold-blooded.
Yeah, I mean, he likes blue cheese, and that's
annoying. A problem. I mean, any intelligent human being would like ranch. I mean, obviously.
Duh. But then again, says the guy who likes flats over drums.
Well.
Like, who are you to talk?
Well.
I'm going to Red Iguana tonight. You're not.
Yeah, well,
I'm going to Red Iguana tonight.
Taco Bell and Red Iguana, it's the same thing.
I said, what did I say yesterday? We should have got Mexican pizzas. We went to Cafe Rio yesterday for dinner.
Mm-hmm.
We should have gotten Mexican pizzas.
Yeah, but we made a better choice.
Tanner Plummer says, ew, don't mention Zach's mom, Mon. I still haven't recovered from that video. Oh, look, I'm going to tell you now.
Right.
That Zach's mom is somebody who I agree. And we don't have that eyebrow video anymore, unfortunately. But Zach's mom's not unattractive.
Uh-huh.
I mean, her friends are way hotter.
No.
But,
Right.
Just ask Zach. Anyway,
yeah, ask him. He'll tell you.
Top Junkie says, so far this week, the end show topics have covered colonoscopies and prostitutes.
Yeah.
Today is Friday. Can we wait to see what the general topics you guys cover today?
I'm going to get medieval on your ass.
Look, there's nobody who doesn't want to talk about prostitutes. That's how Jake got here. Listen.
What the hell was that?
What?
Was the A word talking right there? Did you hear that?
No. Are you?
Okay.
Look, ayahuasca guy.
I said, did we talk about prostitutes?
Yeah. Did we talk about prostitutes on the show this week?
No, today. You referenced my mom as a prostitute and a lot lizard.
Well, she is. Wow. Anyway, point is, no.
What the hell is going on?
I don't know, bro.
Look, honest to God, I met your mom. She was a circus performer.
Hey, look at me.
She was on the trapeze. What do you want me to do?
Well, I don't know, man.
No, he's straight pile driving.
I mean, just because she's 2 feet tall doesn't mean that she doesn't have feelings,
Bro.
man.
Speaking of colonoscopies, the BS is deep.
Okay, here we go.
Anyways.
Anyway. All right, Eric and Raleigh says football at 50, Devery Davis, barbecue pit stop. There you go. Exactly right. Kanai Johnson, the reason I asked earlier this morning about Don's defense, there's other videos of Don still funneling his opponents inside, like if Rudy is there and he still can't play defense. Well, I'll play this video again. I will play this video again because I want you to see this video of Donovan Mitchell. And I want to explain this a little better. This is Donovan Mitchell versus Anthony Edwards in a pickup run in Miami.
Yeah.
And the first thing you see is Anthony Edwards hitting a tough jump shot. Because it's tough because Donovan Mitchell's playing really good defense. You see Anthony Edwards then on the other end take the ball from Don, come down and dunk. But the last shot is made by Donovan Mitchell, and it's off of a screen. It's a pull-up in the mid-range at the elbow. And I think it's exactly what Donovan Mitchell needed to add to his bag. Here it is.
5, 4, 3, 2, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Good beat. Oh, that's tough. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh, ball game.
Knock it down, Donnie.
Yeah.
Like, if he adds that shot to his arsenal, forget about it. Like, he is going to be very difficult to deal with. Oh, man.
See, you mentioned prostitutes, and what do we get? What do we get?
Did I miss the bots? Where are the bots at? There they are. Oh my goodness.
Just so you can go to Pound Town.
I am sorry that I missed the bots.
You're casual.
That was my bad, bruh. My bad. The bots are prostitution. There you go. Adult
Not
content.
to be confused with prostates.
You know.
Different.
Anyways.
Thumb in the butt.
Right.
Top Junkie says, oh man, this is getting deep. How I Met Your Mom 2.0.
He's an assassin.
Marantino says, Monty gonna be on the couch tonight. Jake's mom, Mrs. Monty is not Jake's mom, by the way. Jake,
Are we clear on that?
Different.
Do we need to get Maury in here or something?
You are not the father.
You are the father. That's what happened.
Great. Yeah. On my birthday many years ago, my good friend and radio producer Justin Hintz got Maury Povich to come on my show when I was at Sporting News Radio. Maury Povich came on the show and told me, you are not the father. Because I love it. When Maury used to, remember the Maury Povich show?
Yeah,
They'd always do the DNA tests. And they would lead up to it, and Maury would be holding something, right? Like, Maury would be holding the envelope, and he'd pull it out, and a piece of paper would be there. And he'd be like...
And they're playing, like, heavy music. Dun, dun.
And he'd be like, Kevin.
Dun, dun.
When it comes to little
dun, dun.
Joey... and
Dun, dun.
When it comes to little Joey...
Dun, dun.
And Kaylin Jabrini...
Dun, dun, dun.
You are not
dun, dun.
Like, and he built it up. Kevin... You are not the father. And then the guy jumps up and the woman's like, oh, I'm a whore. Oh, God. Like, and she freaks out.
Razzle dazzle.
Ah! And the guy's like, I told you. It was amazing. It's so rare that the guy's like, oh, it's okay. It's okay. We know you're easy. It's fine. And then he looks over at little Nate and he's like, Nate, you're a bastard now. And then he gets up and walks out. It's amazing. I love it. And I also love the one where, like, the Maury Povich is like, James, when it comes to Jezebel Cynthia and your little child, Jacinth, you are the father.
Okay.
It's always the girl who gets up and it's like, oh, child support. And her mother is almost always right there because mom's always the one buying the baby formula and diapers. Of course, yeah. Before Uncle Joe turned off the baby formula drip. Anyway, the point is,
this is fucking America.
It's always the mom who's like, oh, I told you. Anyway, Maury Povich or Jerry Springer?
Maury Povich, for sure.
Maury Povich.
Oh, yeah,
really?
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Steve Wilkos or Maury Povich?
No, Steve ain't even in the same conversation. Come on, dude. Maury's just a legend, man.
We were watching a show about the 90s.
On Vice. Dark Side of the 90s.
Dark Side of the 90s on Vice. And they showed Jenny Jones. Remember Jenny Jones? Mm-hmm. Do you remember Lake? What's her name?
Ricky Lake.
The Ricky Lake Show.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm oddly sexy but unattractive. Anyway, that was Ricky Lake. I kid you not. That was Ricky. Ricky Lake was oddly sexy but wholly unattractive.
I love that show.
I mean, Jenny Jones had that older woman vibe about her, and you're just like, nah, man, nah. Nope.
Okay.
This went like a whole other...
Okay.
Jenny Jones or Hillary Clinton. All right, let's move on.
Yes. What is wrong?
Ayahuasca. Let's see. CKS says prostitutes and prostates.
And then you're surprised when the bots come into the chat.
Where can you get so much compelling line of both on one show?
Nowhere. That's what we bring you.
Dead Collector says, love you long time. Let's see. Kenai Johnson says that elbow shot is what he needs and maybe a floater as well. Yeah, I'm telling you. Donovan Mitchell, if he adds that, he's going to score 30 points. All right, real quick, Jazz. Over under 26.
Oh, over all day. Maybe I don't know anything, and that's a distinct possibility. But I think they're like 35 to 38 wins. That's what I think.
I think they're 35 to 40, and I think they're a play-in team.
Now, I think 40 is asking a lot, but
I think it's asking a lot. That's why I said 35 to 40.
Yeah.
If Don's scoring 30 points a game, they can push 40 wins. And depending on what Danny does with the rest of the roster, Because
and that's a tough part. It's not done.
But that's the other thing that I think everybody's assuming is that Danny's done with the roster. He's clearly not.
Yeah.
He's clearly not. Like, I continually hear that Bojan Bogdanović and Patrick Beverley, there are deals in place that he could make today for those guys. And I think he is much like every other GM around this league that's just kind of chilling, waiting for the dam to break. I think because there's going to be trades that are going to happen, and I think that's what he's waiting for. Let's see. OJC destroys ankles. He's like, nah, Jerry. Mrs. Monty and I went to the Jerry Springer show once.
You did?
Yes. I've been to Oprah like 3 or 4 times. Yeah. Those shows were shot in Chicago, by the way.
Yeah.
So, let's see. Mardino87 said, Maury is the reason I didn't get any homework done. Legend.
Yes.
So one of my friends, I can't remember if it was somebody I worked with or somebody I work with, said to me after Maury was on our show, I remember who it was. I won't out this person, but he said to me, I'm going to get a paternity test because I've always had doubts. And now that Maury was on, I'm doing it.
And as you can see, there's not much hope for you left.
I have no idea what the outcome was, but
you are the father.
Pretty sure he got it. Mike Phillips says Morton Downey Jr. Oh my God. Kenai Johnson, Maury's whole show was about drama. I loved it. Are you sure he's the father? Yes, 1,000%. He's the father. There's no doubt. I haven't spread the wings of greatness for any other man. I was faithful the entire time. You are not the father.
Congratulations, but that's bullshit.
Every woman who, when Maury says you are not the father, that was immediately preceded by, I've slept with no other men. I love you, Mike. Michael, you're my guy. Michael, you are not the father.
Where is Aaron right now?
And thus, the lot lizard is born.
Well.
Anyway.
Oh, boy.
Kenai Johnson. Montel Williams. Do you know who Montel Williams is?
Yes, I remember Montel.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
He's amazing. Tanner says, not going to lie, as a Jazz fan, it's going to be weird to see the Jazz miss the playoffs. Well, you won't have to worry about that. Mike Phillips says, can't trade Bev for a few weeks. Yeah, it's the end of I don't know the exact date off the top of my head, but it's the end of August. So I think September could be one of the busiest months in the history of the National Basketball Association.
Yeah, I hope
which
so.
Which is the NBA, by the way. It could be one of the busiest months in the history of the NBA.
Yeah.
And I think the Jazz could be in the middle of that. Kenai Johnson says, over 35-40 play-in, but making the 8th seed. It's going to be tough because I'm telling you now, the other team you better watch out for is the Lakers. And I know I said this last year and I look like a D-bag doing it, but especially if they trade Russ, if they trade 2 firsts and Russ to Brooklyn for Kai Rizzle, by the way, did you see Kyrie came out and denied that whole contract thing?
Yeah, he denied that he didn't ask for a 60-game clause in his contract like she denied it on the Maury show. We know how that worked out.
Yeah, you spread your wings, Kyrie. Don't say you didn't.
Yeah.
I really don't care if you think it's sus.
Liar.
Yeah, I just think it's ridiculous that, Kyrie is the exact kind of guy who would ask for that clause. Like, hey, I don't have to play back-to-backs. I only want to play 60 games a year. He's that kind of guy. I wouldn't be surprised by it at all. Not even a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, not at all.
I don't think, one, you're not getting that.
No.
And 2, I think that we're going to a place in the NBA, and this, again, just my opinion, we're going to a place in the NBA where I think they're going to penalize guys for playing. Yeah. You're going to have levels of games played that you have to.
Games played, body fat percentages. I mean,
Hey, Zion has nothing to do with this conversation.
Yes, he does.
He actually does. Let's see. Talking with Raphael podcast says predictions for the Jazz 52-30 going into the playoffs as of right now. No chance.
Yeah, there's no chance, dude.
That they win 52 games. No chance. Let's see. Go Black 45. GEAUX. Go Tigers. Says, does an undefeated BYU team get in over a one-loss Oklahoma or Clemson if Bama, OSU, and USC go undefeated? Ooh. USC is not going undefeated.
No chance.
I don't know. Probably not. That's the peril you live with when you're an independent.
Yeah.
I mean, that's definitely a scenario. Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
No doubt about it. Let's see. Talking with Raphael. Said that already. Tanner Plummer says, hey, Jake, do you have a, quote, man, he got paid to come in here and promote the Monty thing? Can you believe that drop?
No, I don't have that. Sorry.
I don't know what that is.
The Monty show.
Mike Maple says, hold on. I'm not the father. Get to stepping, Ricky Lake. You are not the father.
Yes.
And I love that Maury Povich.
He's just a legend. He's the best at it.
You are not the father.
Yes.
Like that, the way he changes his tone on the not. You are not the father. Like, he's way up here. You are not the father. Tell me that. Tell me that.
Him.
When he says you are, tell me a little P doesn't come out. When it comes to little Kaylin Bryce.
Right.
Enoch, you are not the father. Tell me a little P. Yeah, exactly. Tell me you don't have the Charlotte Hornets announcer pipe into the studio.
Right. Pipe in.
Which you shouldn't have done with this girl in the first place. Lie down with dogs.
I'm driving them.
Yeah, you lie down with dogs, you getting some fleas.
You said pipe in. Come on. Come on.
Kenai Johnson says the cameraman was always running around for some footage. He was, because remember the lady would take off backstage?
That's the best part.
I'm a whore. Ah!
She's like looking for the back door and has to go through a maze of like sets and stuff.
And Maury would always be back there. It's okay, whore. I'm going to support you. We'll find who the father is. Do you know who it could be? Oh, it could be Mike. Oh,
Mike!
Steve straight pile drive me that one night in October. Oh, man, but then there was Calvin. Oh, Calvin at the State Fair. But then that Carney, that one night in Olathe, Kansas, that Carney.
Okay.
Oh, Maury, I don't know what to do. And Maury's like, get extra jobs.
Cock-a-doodle-doo.
I love it. The girl would always sit on stage. But Mike, I love you. I would never cheat on you. And then backstage after he said, you're not the father, she lists off like 37 dudes. The guy at the Circle K, I just couldn't say no. And then Tiger Woods out back behind the Perkins. Or no, wait. Tiger outside back behind the Chuckarama. Like I just couldn't say no. He had extra mashed potatoes and Salisbury steak. You guys, I just worked in Salisbury steak. Salisbury. I said Salisbury steak.
Right.
Yes. No one really understands what the fuck is going on in your brain. But
I couldn't resist his orange chicken.
Like I'm seriously hungry, so stop talking about food.
Stevie was so spicy.
Generation.
Oh,
it is Friday
God.
on this
Audience is
show.
now concerned.
Bro, it's Friday on this show. And we're all like hallucinating.
Amber Spencer says, I entered this live at the weirdest time.
Yeah.
William says, you're savage for that Tiger comment. Christopher Leal says, it's the Chuckarama for me.
Yeah.
There was what was that buffet by our house in Phoenix? Oh, I couldn't resist the egg rolls at the You Like buffet.
You Like buffet.
Yes.
There was a Chinese
It literally
buffet.
was called that.
You Like
buffet. It was called You Like. Come on, man.
with a U. Just
the letter U.
And then like.
And Britt can't help but being a racist by using the Asian accent, and it makes it all the better.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Chuck.
Anyway.
Oh.
Who eats at Chuck?
You like a buffet?
Okay, stop it. That is you cannot do that.
No.
Terrible buffet food though.
Yeah. You got to be careful with buffets,
dude.
man.
Even
we were talking to Brian the other day.
Brian. Oh yeah.
And he was saying he liked buffets. And
there is a Chinese buffet.
Yeah.
Right by in West Valley there that.
It's good. I mean, it's good, but I just think you have to be careful with buffets.
But this is this story about the water park splash pad.
Oh,
thing.
get the hell out of here with this, dude. Come on.
So we were also last night watching a show We were watching a show about Woodstock 99.
It's called Trainwreck Woodstock 99 on Netflix. Fantastic.
So it turns out the water at Woodstock 99 was not good. They were drinking it, and the lady's like, yeah, back then. And I should say she's a hippie-looking person. She's got, like, the crazy hair. And
she does ayahuasca.
I'm guessing she's had paternity situations.
Right.
Just me. But she's like, the water was a problem. I drank the water right out of the faucet, and it was weird. I got, like, cold sores all over my lips, and I had, like, ulcers in my mouth. And over here, there's it was like, dude, that's because there was fecal matter in the water. And then they bring on the scientist who was like, okay, well, we took samples of the water. We sent them over to the lab. And then Calvin and I went over to the lab the next day. We opened up the incubator, and it knocked you over with the smell of poop.
Oh.
And then, we looked at the samples, and they were full of fecal, man. And then they bring on this other guy. Let's call him
Jimmy Bob.
Let's call him Jimmy Steve.
Yeah.
Like Jimmy Steve is like, oh man, it was amazing. Like we were so hot because it was Woodstock 99. It was the temperature was sweltering. And now I want to be honest with you and tell you, the most fun I've ever had in my life was Woodstock 99. Because you could jump through the water, the mud, like there was water everywhere and it was muddy. So we jumped through the muddy water. And it was amazing. We had so much fun, like slipping, sliding through the muddy water. And then they bring on the scientist, and he's like, yeah, so the porta potties leaked everywhere, and there was a field of poopy water mud, and people were diving through it. And we were like, holy shit, Jimmy G, that's poop you're diving in. And they were like, oh, but it was the most fun we've ever had.
And as you can see, I'm going through some shit right
now.
now.
They were literally doing like, the mud was not mud, it was poop. Oh. And people were like face first diving into the mud. Woodstock 99 was nasty.
Whoa, okay, this is weird.
What?
We were just talking about Maury and paternity tests.
Yeah.
What did TikTok just pop up on my phone? Pregnancy announcement. Oh. No, TikTok doesn't listen at all. TikTok doesn't listen at all. No, not at all. No.
But anyway, so I bring up all the fecal matter to say don't eat at buffets.
Yeah.
Because
don't do
9
that,
out
dude.
of 10 buffets.
I'm good. I'm good.
This is why I say if you don't know what a kick flush in a public bathroom is, you're doing it wrong.
I'm going to do that.
You're doing it wrong. We do not flush the toilet with our hands. Okay, little Kevy. No, Daddy, can I flush the toilet? No.
Oh.
No, Kevy. I have to do a kick flush.
Dude.
Which is you pick your foot up off the floor, sir, and you put it on that toilet handle, and you flush the toilet with your foot.
Kick it will flow.
It is called a kick flush for a reason, and that's because I ain't getting no fecal matter, no butthole particle on my hand. Mm-hmm. Good morning, Mrs. Monty.
Wow.
Hi.
I can't say we've had a show like this in a while.
Yeah, it's been a little while.
Awkward.
It is. Welcome to the show. I don't eat at buffets. Just as a rule.
Yeah.
Unless it's the
there's
Mandalay
one.
buffet.
Well, but
that's the Mandalay Bay buffet. Come on.
Hello, they're hotel workers. What do they know about bed bugs or fecal matter?
Come on.
Are you kidding me right now?
What are the comments saying?
The breakfast buffet at the Mandalay.
Phenomenal.
Dude. I mean, you just brush the gnats away, and then you get the... No, I'm kidding. No, the breakfast buffet at the Mandalay Bay in Lost Wages is outstanding. Outstanding. It is truly amazing. All right. Fat Jesus says, I still want a show where Monty does all of his voices. I don't do... What voices?
BYU Radio.
What voices? That's on BYU Radio. I don't know what voices you mean. Tanner Plummer says this show is completely gone off the rails. Occasionally.
100%.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tricky T.
Tricky T. Christopher Shannon says, bro, that farting poop sound is disgusting. Winning.
Oh, man.
Let's see. M. Alvarez says, I have always called it the upchuckarama.
Oh, now we're never going to be able to forget that.
Pretty much self-explanatory.
We'd like to announce our newest sponsor.
Wow.
It's not Chuckarama. Cody Strickland says, I'd rather have Golden Corral than My God, how did we forget about Golden Corral? What about Sizzler?
Yeah.
What about Sizzler?
See, like Sizzler was like the OG, but it was still kind of respectable. But it was like it was a buffet, but not too much buffet. My dad loved Sizzler. That was the deal.
Why do I put Cracker Barrel and Golden Corral in the same bucket? Because Cracker Barrel is not a buffet.
Cracker Barrel
It's not a buffet.
Yeah.
It's different. But for
Way
me in my
different.
brain, I'm like, wait, Cracker Barrel or Golden Corral?
The place that I put in like with trashy buffets is the Waffle House. Because
but
if you
it's
haven't
so
been to a
good,
Waffle
though.
House, you need 2 a.m. Waffle House crowd in your life. I mean, I'm serious.
I don't know that you do.
Oh, contraire, mon frère. Yes, you do.
But then you wake up at like 9 and you're like, dude, where'd the time go? And then you feel like trash.
I had nights at my lowest when I lived in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And like all of my friends.
Oh, your Maury Povich show days. Got it.
All of my friends went to the University of Illinois to play baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Like pretty much my core friends. I chose to take a job in radio. So I did the weekend truck down to Champaign, right, where the University of Illinois is. You could find some Waffle Houses down in southern Illinois, like in Edwardsville, Illinois, where there is the University of Illinois at Edwardsville. Mofos know that there's some Waffle House action there. And I have vivid memories. In St. Louis, I have vivid memories of Waffle House, their cinnamon waffle, fried eggs, hash browns.
Damn.
With like their death salsa dip mix thing on whatever the hell that cancer liquid is. And then like the drunk people just rolling in. Like I remember a lady falling off of a stool at Waffle House and just splitting her cranium open.
Dude.
And her brain didn't fall out of her head mainly because she didn't have one. But if she did, like I've seen some stuff at you know the other place that you get down at late at night in college towns? Oh, the Shake Shack, not Shake Shack. It just went right out of my head.
Arby's?
West Lafayette, Indiana. No, Steak and Shake.
Steak and Shake.
Oh my God.
Are we clear on that?
The unbelievable shenanigans at Steak and Shake in Bloomington, Illinois. We did some damage, mainly to our colon. But the point is,
right,
because their food is tasty, but it's not good.
Right.
I'm telling you,
Damn.
if you have never been to a Waffle House, Google search Waffle House, get your ass in the car and drive to the closest one.
So get your facts straight.
Because your life ain't the same. It's not the same. Let's see. JC Destroys Ankle says the crazy buffet, that's the one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Greg Hawkins says buffets are usually pretty gross. Yes. But I got to say, I think, Greg Hawkins, it was your going away dinner. You guys look like you ate pretty well. That last meal that you put on Instagram, my God.
Yeah.
That meal looked
tasty.
It looked tasty. It looked spicy.
Whew. That looked good. That looked really good. Let's see. Mandarin87 says Chuckarama is like my most favorite place in the world. Fat! Exactly. Fat Jesus says, don't eat at the buffet. I probably teabag the green beans.
Wow. You just said teabag.
Wow.
Damn.
Greasy Hand Sean Butterfield says, kick flush, just walk away, man. No.
No,
I
refuse. You got to kick flush. Come on. Don't just leave it in the bowl.
Yeah, I refuse to leave my DNA just chilling in somebody's toilet bowl. I am not doing that.
No.
No, you have to flush. Like,
you gotta flush.
There's nothing worse than walking into a truck stop bathroom stall and seeing some dude's remnants. I'm not interested. Like, that's the worst.
Yeah.
Dude.
I'm good.
Flush.
Yeah.
Gabe Ledley, good morning.
Hey, Gabe.
You St. George casuals need to hit Barbecue Pit Stop on Saturday at 11 a.m. Register to win the BYU Notre Dame drive-away and get free samples from my favorite Utah local barbecue company, Hey Grill Hey.
Okay.
Gabe, are you going to be at the Barbecue Pit Stop in St. George tomorrow?
Yeah, what?
I would do
Is that for real?
I would do the 3-hour trek to get some
Well,
Jack.
I'm not going down there for Gabe. I'm going down there for Jack. Like, let's be clear.
Hello.
Jesus.
Are you being serious? I would totally do that.
What is wrong with you people?
Wait, Gabe, so you're going to be in St. George tomorrow?
You should tell us that. JC Destroys Ankle says the Golden Corral in West Valley finally got shut down. Dysentery. Dysentery on the west side has dropped in numbers.
But I'm sure
Dude
it has.
said Dyson Terry.
Vacuum. Semites.
Yosemites, bro. Where is that? I need that right now. Where's my boy?
Yosemites.
That's a hard word.
What a poll.
God damn it. Anyway, Tanner says, Mrs. Monty, what does your shirt say? Well,
Love is love.
he just wants you to flex your chest. It says love is love. That's what it says. What does that mean? You need to, it's a microphone. Anytime you're ready, you know.
Love is love. That, you know, you should be able to love who you want to love. I support the LGBTQ plus and all the hetero people around. Love who you want to love. You want to love a guy, you want to love a girl. You want to love a girl and a girl and a guy.
Okay, so wait,
and a guy.
let me get
You're
this right.
good.
Let me
love
get this right.
Is love,
you
and
guys
it's
said
okay.
that I threw the show off the rails with Maury Povich. This one over here is talking about
bring the gay.
No, no, no.
Anyways,
listen, bring the gay.
love is love and love is grand.
I heard the phrase the other day, pray the gay away.
That's messed up, bro.
I had Fox News. I had
dude.
Fox News accidentally on my phone streaming for like 45 seconds,
Dude.
and that was uttered on Fox News the other day.
Ain't nothing wrong with being gay.
I do appreciate that companies like Amazon do that. I appreciate that. Like
Yeah.
that a lot more companies, Yelps, the Amazons, like I'm assuming Google does something like, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tanner Plummer says hometown buffet is okay. It's not great.
Yeah.
The word buffet kind of means it's not okay.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Cody Strickland says West Valley Murray and I think one between Layton and Taylorsville. What are we talking about? What did I miss? Did somebody ask? Let's see. Oh, TJ McVeigh. Golden Corral, is there one anywhere in the Salt Lake Valley?
Oh, yeah.
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 Kanai Johnson says hometown buffet. Who remembers? Hell yes. Yes.
Did Gabe Ledley comment again?
Is there
yet?
a Golden
Yes.
Corral? I honestly can't remember seeing one.
I can't
I'm
remember
sure
seeing a
there
Golden
is.
Corral.
I'm sure there is.
Let's see.
I
TJ
don't know.
McVeigh says Murray has a Chuckarama. Right at the mall, there's a Chuckarama.
Yeah, there is a Chuckarama right near the Cheesecake Factory, which,
dude,
and if you're picking in between.
That Cheesecake Factory, though, is a problem. That thing is always busy, and it's just,
and
it's
the
just a terrible
parking
experience.
Yeah, the parking there is horrid.
Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah.
It's absolutely horrendous.
And now they took more parking away. Did you see that? They're
They
building
did?
something right in the parking lot.
We were at Barbecue Pit Stop the other day, and we were looking across the street, like, because it's across from the
Yeah,
mall
it's
in
directly
Murray.
across the street there.
There's a huge, like, metal structure for a building going up there.
Yeah.
Right next to, where Shake Shack is in the parking
Yeah.
lot at the mall?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, directly towards the freeway, going towards Chuckarama. There's
Seriously?
a big... Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's an iron frame
They're
set up.
taking away more parking, which is just
That
insane.
place is crazy.
No parking on that side.
None whatsoever. Let's see. JC Destroys Ankle says, when the bathroom in a restaurant looks like the one in a Walmart, you run.
Yes, you do.
Yes,
That's
it is.
correct.
Gabe Ledley says, haha, I wish, fellas, but sadly not making the trip this time. He cost me Jack in the Box.
What ifs?
Damn, Gabe. Damn.
Same with the one in West Jordan, Golden Core, that is. Okay. JC Destroys Ankles, did you say Dyson Terry?
No, we're moving past this.
No.
That's it, Skippy.
Yeah. Monty, would you stream Fox News? It was an accident. It was a accident. See what happened was I went to turn on Howard Stern, and I hit the wrong button.
It is what it is.
Because I never get to listen to Howard anymore.
I'm not a big fan of Fox.
Speaking of which, okay, should we do...
We've had a good show.
I
We've had
hesitate.
a good show. I don't want to... It's been good today.
I hesitate. No, we probably shouldn't.
Yeah, no, we're not doing it. Donnie's not making the
All right,
show
let's
today.
argue over French fries.
Okay, thank
because
you.
Mrs. Monty actually has a job. So,
Yeah, and we're all hungry, so let's go.
I am hungry.
Starving,
Yes.
dude.
I am. JC Destroys Ankles says, guys, if you haven't tried this already, go to Curry Pizza. Absolute fire.
Curry
I've heard
pizza?
of Curry Pizza, I think it's called, right? Is that
I'm in.
Curry Pizza,
That sounds
what's that?
good.
Well, what did he say?
He said Curry Pizza.
Yeah, I've heard of that. I don't know what it is, though.
Yeah, you're
I've
going to
heard
have to
name.
describe that.
Yeah.
All right.
French
today, this is a problem for me. Now, listen, you guys know that I don't like to get weird. I don't like... honestly, I don't like... It's just not me. So, whoever the asshole is that came up with Julienne French fries...
Dude!
Julian.
It's not Julian, actually. Anyway, the point is...
Yosemites.
God.
Yosemites.
God, if you're listening to this radio broadcast, please help me.
Anyway, Julianne is no.
Okay.
The answer is no. French fries are not meant to be like thin little shoestrings. And this is the issue. We try to get cute. We try to reinvent the wheel, and we wind up being Marshawn Lynch, driving without tires.
Terribly vexed.
It just doesn't work out. So can you please make crinkle cuts or do what, again, our guys at Super Chicks.
Yeah.
They put cocaine clearly in their ranch dressing because it's amazing.
It is phenomenal, bro.
And they make really good, they're not shoestring fries, but they're thinner, longer French fries that are really good.
Mm-hmm.
These little, I'm going to julienne it like it's a carrot. It's not a carrot. So don't cut it like it's a carrot. French fries are meant to be steak fries or...
No, crinkle cuts. Not steak fries.
Dude.
Crinkle cuts, dude.
Dude, I'm all about a steak fry. I actually love the concept of the waffle cut fry from Chick-fil-A.
No.
But I don't like that they put that coating on it.
God? God, are you out there? Are you out there? God?
No,
I need
obviously.
you.
Obviously not.
Yeah, it's obvious you hate me, God.
Okay.
But God, if you're listening
on BYU Radio,
please infect her brain with hate.
What the hell
deep.
is wrong with you?
Infect her brain deep with hate for the waffle cut French fry.
Are you out of your goddamn mind?
Because you have to roll the grease out of it
There's something wrong with you.
and the fecal matter.
No.
I'm just saying that a waffle cut fry has more surface to hold the sauce. Any sauce that you want to dip that in, that you have more surface. It's an effective tool for eating the sauce with your potato.
God.
I'm brilliant.
God,
I don't
listen.
mind saying it.
I know that you are you only have Sirius so that you can have BYU Radio. I know that, sir. But please let her know that surface area. God, I pray this morning that you will use all of your power to infect her brain with the understanding that French fries are not supposed to have surface area,
Stop
sir.
trying, because
Under
it's
my
not
tutelage.
working. It's not going to work. And clearly, I can't eat it Chick-fil-A because I like the gays.
Whoa.
Wow.
Whoa.
And they don't.
God.
They don't. They don't like. I'm just saying.
God.
They don't know. Mm-hmm.
God, if you can hear me, please send her. Please send her to Maury.
Sometimes I think I just say shit.
Dude, this show is ridiculous today.
Okay.
It's absolutely
Anyways,
ridiculous.
Do we still have
God.
listeners right now?
God, please let her know that In-N-Out Burger is the place for John 3:16 and to wear her Love is Love shirt. Because the surface area of their fries is 0.
Because their fries suck.
Anyways, okay, moving along.
What do the comments say now? Oh, Jesus.
Did you really just bring up surface area of a French fry?
What is this, geometry class?
I mean, what the...
I'm saying it's a good design.
No, it's not a good design.
No.
Nothing at Chick-fil-A is good by design. They poison you with their little aluminum foil bags and stuff. So the aliens can get your DNA.
Schemers trying to control their little worlds.
Anyway.
Wow.
Christopher Shannon says wedges are the best. Okay.
I don't know, man.
Okay. But I can have that.
I think the survival rate on wedges is definitely a lot lower than normal.
But that's a conversation I can have.
Yeah.
Wedges.
Yeah. It is. It is. Wedges, if you have great ranch, if you've got Super Chicks Ranch, okay.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But they
I
need
like
a good
the wedge
sauce.
fry. I'm good with that.
You like the wedge fry.
Yeah. Again, more surface area
Wow.
for
Stop
your
it!
dipping sauce.
God.
God is clearly not listening to the show today. Let's see. JC Destroys Ankle says curry pizza, traditional or with Indian spices and sauces. Ooh, Mrs. Monty's in.
I'm in.
The mango korma or honey curry are some of my favorites. Wow. I love that. Let's see. McDonald's fries are the best. I haven't had McDonald's French fries. Now, I will say as breakfast goes, the McDonald's hash browns. But the line at McDonald's for breakfast is just too long.
Yeah.
It's so long all the time.
Yeah.
It's like prohibitive to go there. Talking with Raphael. I can't say it fast. I have to be
add it to the
dignified.
list of like Boise State and
Talking with Raphael podcast
in South Carolina
on PBS
News Radio.
Brought to you by the new. I don't know. I don't have
Anyway.
brought to you by Jimmy Joe's Wealth Fund. Anyway, okay.
Saudi stooge.
I'll move on. Potato wedges from potato wedges from Harmon's are good.
Dude, Harmon's hot bar is definitely underrated.
Is that a euphemism? The hot bar?
Hey.
Oh, ask your mom. Anyway,
simple.
okay, let's move.
What is happening here?
Bro.
I love a good steak fry, and I
Yeah.
think, getting those from the hot bar every once in a while is it's okay.
Okay, Juan
I
says,
endorse.
"Hey guys, any thoughts on the Big Ten expanding into Texas? If so, who would they go after? I don't. Houstonians.
Yes, that's correct.
Houstonians, I think, would like to believe that Houston would get into the Big Ten.
No,
that's not happening.
Yeah, that's a lie.
You are not the Big Ten. I don't see the Big Ten expanding into Texas. I mean, Texas would have been your lone fit, but I think SMU only offers you Dallas Metro. That doesn't seem like a fit.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Houston knows they're an idyllic fit for the Big 12. And I think that's where they're going. Mike Maples gets us back on track and says, no waffle, no crinkle, only acceptable alterations, Arby's curly fries. Never had them.
See, curly fries are different. I don't have a lot of curly fries, mainly because Jack in the Box isn't in Salt Lake.
Well, and I don't eat curly fries either, mainly because I, have testosterone.
But you like Jack in the Box's curly fries, right? I thought you were a curly fry fan.
It's been such a long time.
Yeah, I don't remember their fries.
Yeah, I don't remember the curly fry too
If I had my
much.
choice of something that is deep fried, it would be in the onion ring family.
Oh, yeah, you're a big onion ring fan, yeah.
That is my jam.
Yeah.
Well said.
But you know what I just thought of?
Yeah.
The draft would be so much more exciting. Like the basketball draft would be so much more exciting if they did it kind of Maury Povich style. They line him up in chairs on the stage, and he can walk around with an envelope and build up the stress. And he can
it's Bachelor style.
You are the draft.
You are the number one overall pick, and you are fat.
Yeah, see, you would have
I'm okay with that.
You would have NFL owner walking around with roses on the stage.
Okay, we're getting a certain level of emoji game in the comments right now that's not a bot. What the hell is
David
that?
Fulmer says Monty has been on a whole different level this week. It all started with all the talk about his physical, and that would be thumb in the butt.
Oh, that was a thumb in the butt reference. He's got the emoji
and
with
the thing, and a peach.
Right?
you
Yeah.
know,
it's the finger pointing at the perfect sign.
Oh.
Rally fries, crunchy bits of fried batter at the bottom, delicious. Yes.
Rally.
Clayton. Hello, Clayton.
Hello, sir.
His emoji is a Nintendo controller using a walker. That's got to be one of the best emojis ever.
Yeah, that's
Clayton says, in any way, Cheerios are 1 cent off of urine. Arby's curly fries are 1 cent off of vagina.
Wow.
I don't quite understand that.
Okay. Wow.
Okay.
Now look, I know you're a virgin.
Okay,
But you can't tell me you don't know
what you're.
Have you not
referencing,
seen
dude?
the movie The Scent of a Woman?
No, I have not, dude. That movie was made in like the 20s, bro. Come on.
What? Scent of a.
Here,
okay,
let me Google search.
It's okay. No.
Don't.
Yeah, let me. 1992. I wasn't even born yet, and you're freaking roasting me over this movie.
You're dumb. Anyway, my point is, the scent of Cheerios is not good, but you can't tell me.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. Did we wake? I didn't mean to wake you up.
I'm hungry.
She's hungry, bro.
I agree.
Yeah.
I did not. Dude, curly fries? No. Fries that smell like vaginas? Maybe. I mean, Greg Hawkins, blue cheese dressing? What do you want from me? Alphabet identity. You saw what? I don't know what that means. Oh, God. Jeremy Bolton, why? McDonald's hash browns equal diarrhea disc. What? Their hash browns are really good.
You know what, though? Most times they're too greasy. That's how I feel about it. Too greasy.
Why do you play that? Oh, diarrhea. Anyway, all right. Finally.
Okay.
And finally. Why do people go to restaurants and get in fights?
Violence is never the answer, people.
Okay,
Unless you're on Maury.
That's a lie. On Jerry.
Jer Bear.
Listen, violence works. Ask Jake how he was disciplined as a child.
Right.
Have you told the toy box story?
No, we ain't got time for that today. That's a different day.
Track. You have
That's
no,
a different day.
No,
today.
I don't. I'm way off the rails. Chipotle and McDonald's. So I saw a brawl at the McDonald's in San Francisco that was epic. It was two homeless dudes fighting with a McDonald's worker, and the McDonald's worker won. It was tremendous. No, well, see, I meant that's not what I meant.
I'm for real.
Anyway, the point is, there was a story out of Chipotle. Speaking of mud butt.
Mud butt. Mud butt? What the hell is mud butt?
I didn't bring that up on the show. Somebody else did.
Butthole.
Anyway, Mark Rasmussen says, Jesus help us.
Like,
speaking of Jesus help us. So 2 women order pickup at Chipotle. Apparently the order was wrong. They go back into the Chipotle. And normally what would you do? Hey, Karen, my order's not correct. Can you?
Right.
That's not how they handled it. These 2 women went into the Chipotle, got up on the counter, threw their food back at the Chipotle workers, who called the cops, and the cops wrote these 2 ladies a ticket for disorderly conduct because they got up on the counters, were yelling and screaming and throwing their food back at the Chipotle workers.
On your ass.
Speaking of dysentery, wouldn't you have to close now to clean that up?
Yes.
And B, why are you getting on the counter and throwing your food back at the Chipotle worker? Like, I don't understand why we do this.
Yeah.
So many people are throwing their food like back through drive-through windows. I don't understand that. That video is on repeat at multiple places on TikTok. I don't understand why we abuse retail workers.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Because you guys can say a lot of things about me. Oh, you're Karen Montemouth. Okay. But I do not abuse retail workers. I don't. I actually, and Mrs. Monty probably won't vouch for me because, it's a money thing. We were in an arranged marriage, but it's fine. I treat retail workers pretty well, I feel.
Don't lie to me.
I do. I say thank you. I say, hey, I appreciate your service. Like,
you do.
When I'm at Harmon's, like I'm really polite to the...
You're the guy at Harmon's who makes it awkward in the checkout aisle.
How do I make it awkward in the checkout aisle?
You do.
What does that look for?
I don't think he makes it awkward. He's very friendly. You think he's too friendly?
Not too friendly. Let's not get weird.
It is not my fault the hoes want this.
The hoes want this.
What do you want? What do you want me to do?
Wow.
Oh, boy.
Like, how do I make it awkward?
It's just, I don't know. Like,
I make it awkward in bathrooms.
Yeah,
there's no doubt. I enjoy.
It's ridiculous
when we're in the men's room. I enjoy like, hey man, you want a race? Or I'll be like, hey dude, I am pissing through the back of this urinal, and I'm not paying for it. Like,
dude's over here trying to handle his business in the stall, and this guy's at the urinal talking about how he's like peeing through the back of the urinal. Come on,
this is a land speed piss record.
Come on,
somebody call Guinness.
Come on.
That's it, Skippy.
Or like
if
we're in the if somehow I'm in a stall, I am the guy that'll be like, oh man, whew.
It's just bad etiquette. Get in, do your deal, get the hell out.
Well, he's clearly efficient at that.
Give
That's
a
why I'm
courtesy
here.
Flush if you need to,
trust me,
because nobody wants to smell that.
Jake is living proof that I get in and handle my business.
Oh
wow,
my gosh.
dude.
Anyways,
Execution.
I want to know what the comments are saying.
Give us some comments here. Let's go.
Or have they ever been really upset?
Yeah, is there anybody that's gotten into an argument with a retail worker? I would love to hear this. I would love to. Fat Jesus says that movie was made in the 20s. Classic, Jake.
Yeah, come on.
It wasn't made in the 20s. Well, anything before 1993 didn't exist.
It is. That's true.
M. Alvarez says, my go-to McDonald's breakfast is hash browns and a sausage patty with nothing else. Ooh. Good to get the brown juices going. Wow. Tanner Plummer says, Jake, Jake, we're in the 20s right now. We're in the 20s right now, he says. Tanner says that.
No, we're not.
I mean, we are. We're in the 2020s, but...
You know.
The 1920s. Keep up with me.
Tricky tea.
Work with me.
Jesus.
That drop is amazing. Kurt Meyer says, where is the lightning?
The lightning?
I don't know what you mean.
In the clouds with the thunder.
Yeah. Feel the thunder. Feel the thunder.
Okay. No.
Lightning and the thunder.
Wow.
Anyway.
Wow.
Tanner says, LOL, Mrs. Monty looks happy.
It's Friday. That's
it
a
is.
good thing.
And we're going to Red Iguana tonight.
Oh, thank God.
Mrs. Monty booked a reservation at Red Iguana like 13 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
What was it, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I booked it for this evening. We're going to go to Red Iguana. I'm going to buy a bucket of mole and I'm going to bring it home and slather it on myself.
Bucket of mole into some tequila. Let's go.
Whoop, whoop.
I am excited about that.
Yeah.
Let's go. Go to number one restaurant. You're going out to eat. You can go anywhere you want. Where are you going?
Astros Ocean Club. Not even close.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not even close.
Mrs.
If I could
Monty?
pick anywhere and money didn't matter, that's where I'd
money
go.
doesn't matter.
That's where I'd go.
Okay. Mrs. Monty?
That's where I'd go.
Yeah. Mastros.
Yeah.
The last time, I mean, you didn't have a good experience, but I did.
That
crapping
fire
yourself.
boat was kind of wagyu,
Although, no, I'm
you know,
sorry.
wagyu.
Let me scratch that. Mama's Fish House
Oh, damn.
in Maui.
Yeah.
That's hands
Damn,
down
their fish
the
there is so
best.
good, dude.
Dude, that was the worst food experience I've ever had.
At Mastros
Oh,
the
my
last
God.
time.
You had dry aged beef, and it went ham.
Didn't agree with you.
That's why I say I don't need a colonoscopy. I've already had one. You know.
Anyway.
Justin Salas says, I have only been in one argument with a retail worker, and it was because they wouldn't sell me cold medicine because I didn't have my ID on me. Oh, that's the worst.
It's frustrating.
We've been through that. All right. So, real quick. Red Iguana.
Real quick.
In Salt Lake City, I think Red Iguana is the go-to.
In Salt Lake, yeah, Red Iguana is for sure the go-to.
I think it's the go-to. I really like Ruth's Chris downtown.
Yeah.
I know there's a Ruth's Chris up in Park City. I haven't been to that one.
We should go to that one sometime.
We should, but I can't wait for Red Iguana tonight. I am going to get some amazing enchiladas Suiza.
Yeah.
Tanner Plummer says, I worked at Icebergs. A couple of customers tried to get into an argument with me, but I tried to take the high road and do what they wanted. See, like, that's the thing. I don't understand why people don't just take the high road more often. I'm a big believer in not saying no to a customer. Like the girl at Chipotle. Hey, can I have more chicken, please? Sure.
Thank you.
They never say no. Thank you. They never say no. Justin Salas says Red Lobster for me. Red Lobster is actually very not bad.
The cheddar biscuits.
Oh, my God, yes.
A whole entire bag of cheddar biscuits.
Is there any restaurants you won't eat at? Any buffet, seriously. I'll eat it. In Vegas, I'll eat at buffets. No local buffets.
Yeah.
I can't do it. Other than that.
I'm really trying to avoid the, Denny's or Applebee's or like...
But it's not a I won't. It's not a I won't.
You just don't a lot.
I won't eat it the one-off like Filiberto's.
Yeah.
Like Jimmy Berto's. Like I'm not going to
Berto's.
Yeah, there's a million Berto's. I'm not going to Kevin's Berto. Like I'm not doing that. I don't that does not sound
this
exciting
actually
to
does
me.
not exist.
Yeah.
I
don't know. Anywhere that I'm not going.
Yeah, I can't think of one. Maybe I had a bad experience, but I don't get the hype of Red Iguana. Oh, my God.
Oh, dude.
Okay, so
Delish.
there's a lot of value in booking at Red Iguana,
Who
too.
was saying this, by
because it
the
is
way?
at Justin Salas.
Okay.
It is the same. The thing about Red Iguana is, one, it's locally owned and operated. Two, the food's authentic. Like, it's real-ass Mexican food. And I think that the way they make that, I think the way that they spice, the way that they sauce,
just different, bro.
The quality of the food.
You got to go back. It just is. Yeah.
Mole.
And it's the basic stuff. It's not even like the complexities of a mole. The rice and bean plate is phenomenal. Yeah. The salsa is phenomenal.
And I know this, like maybe I'm a water snob, but certain places just have better tasting water than other places, and Red Iguana is one of those places that has good water.
Oh, God.
What?
We have Tanner, first of all, said, I will never eat in an Italian restaurant, Carabo's again.
Where is the Italian?
The food was disgusting. But then B. Davey pipes in.
Okay.
And says, are you guys related or just buddies?
God
well, let me single you up here. And
was this put on?
We have a banner just because we get this question all the time. Jake, who is Monty's son?
Monty, the Monty Show.
Gotta claim it.
You are the father.
He is my seed. What do you want me to do?
Thank you.
There's nothing I can do about it. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. Justin Salas says, when I move back in December, I'll get it a second shot. All right, good, Justin Salas. I like that. Make sure when you move back as well that you call our good friend Devery Davis. Devery Davis at Academy Mortgage presents the Monty Show this morning. And he is your presenting sponsor of the BYU Drive-Away to see our good friends BYU and Notre Dame in Las Vegas. When you need a mortgage, there's only one guy to call, and it is our guy, and it is over here, Devery Davis at Academy Mortgage.
Devery Davis with the Davis Lending Team, powered by Academy Mortgage. All right, first-time home buyers, listen up. This one's for you. There's a huge misconception on how much it takes to buy a house. Is it 20%? Is it 10%? Is it 15%? The answer will surprise you. There's 4 mortgages in the United States. 2 of them require no down payment. 2 require very minimal down payment. Out of that down payment, there's lots of places to get it from. There's state funds, county funds, city funds, lots of ways to buy a house, no money down. When I was 18, I got out of high school. I actually bought a brand new house, no money down. Never regretted it. If you have questions, give me a shout. Glad to walk you through it. Have a great one.
There he is, Devery Davis at Academy Mortgage, 801-543-9666, NMLS number 278545. He is your presenting sponsor on the BYU Drive Away to the Shamrock Series. The only way you can enter that is to go to Barbecue Pit Stop across the great state of Utah, Layton, Lehigh, Logan, Salt Lake City, and St. George. There's an enter to win box on all those counters with our picture on them, so make sure you hook it up at Barbecue Pit Stop. Shop online at bbqpitstop.com. I think that's it, Jake.
What are those couple of comments right there that I see on the screen?
Those couple
with
of comments.
With all the emojis.
Justin Salas says, I'm looking to buy a rental property. Who would you guys recommend I go to? I would probably recommend you go to Devery Davis and get a mortgage.
That's one of those where he can give you options, though. Like, he can kind of help you understand, like, what you're looking at.
By the way, if you're buying investment property, please stop paying cash for investment property.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
It makes no sense.
It makes no sense at all.
Yeah.
It like, tax-wise, financial planning-wise, don't pay cash for investment property. It's a non, you lose that way.
Yeah.
So I'd recommend you go to Devery Davis at Academy Mortgage. Amber Spencer says, and somehow we are still here. Exactly right. Exactly right.
We're sticking with this, Amber.
Amber's one of my favorite listeners.
Yeah.
She's great on Instagram as well. Amber, you should put your Instagram in the comments here. People, you should go follow Amber. She's a good soul. Good to talk to you, Amber. Good to see you. As always. And we tend to have a lot of fun. If you want to go back, we had a great BYU conversation to start the show.
That was before the Maury Povich stuff and whether I was his son or not.
That was before Britt showed up, Mrs. Monty showed up, and wrecked the entire show.
Right.
As she usually does.
I came in like a wrecking ball.
Whoa. Like that's a song, Jake. That's a reference to a song.
Whoa.
Has nothing to do with her female parts.
Okay.
I don't have balls.
Whoa. Good night. Good night. Am I looking to buy a rental? Yes, you are. Go to Devery Davis. B. Davey says, Tanner Plummer, haha, love this show, man. Makes work commute enjoyable.
What did Tanner say up above a little bit? You see, he put like 4 laughing emojis.
Right here. He said, wow.
Siri,
settle
stop.
down. Tanner said, actually, B. Davey, they kidnapped Jake when he was a baby. Yeah, see, so.
Yes.
You know, I got to be honest with you. We were driving through Echo Park in Los Angeles, and Jake was just, the mother had clearly discarded the devil baby, and we felt bad for him.
If you guys ever want to kick it, we'll
We bought him from a catalog.
I had some extra Similac in the trunk, mixed it up with some tequila, and here's what you get.
What the fuck are you?
He was well fed. That's exactly how it happened.
Was that a roundabout way of calling me fat?
What?
Fat? What?
No.
Fat?
Justin Sal says, not going to lie, ever since you guys expanded the show, my mornings at work have been less productive. Well, I'm glad we could help.
I don't know what you want from us. You know what I mean?
I'm glad we could help. Tom Basilius says, how's Devin Lloyd doing in training camp? Updates on his pulled muscle. I meant to look this morning before at BYU and Utah alums. I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, Jake, we have to go. Play the music. Thank you for being here. Big sponsor announcement next week. Don't forget, go to Barbecue Pit Stop, enter to win the trip. Any of your 5 local Barbecue Pit Stop locations. Until Monday, say goodbye, Jake.
Goodbye, Jake.